Oh, you
And boom.
bastard!
Oh wow, what a great way to actually start this. Oh wow, nice death there, John. Yeah,
You found out where the rocket was.
what a great way to start this WTF, guys. Hello and welcome to Anime Club After Dark for episode 25 of our WTFs on Halloween. Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween. Imagine we're all in costumes.
Yeah, imagine we're all so as usual, we were supposed to be on cameras for this. My internet connection says otherwise. So I do actually apologize if the stream is not exactly let's say 1080p out there, because I am actually the one streaming this. So yeah, that's that. I apologize. Technical difficulties aside, we are still going to be doing this today. And as you can see, John and Natai are 1v1ing in Halo
This is not fair.
right now.
This is not fair.
Also, I believe this is Natai's very first time ever playing Halo multiplayer, so
Very much so.
so
It's John. I'm
But-
sure it'll be fun.
oh, and happy Goat Day. Yes, definitely happy Goat
Fuck
Day.
you. This is not the time. Oh my god.
But anyway, so getting into our WTF, we have a bunch of questions that were asked on Discord. So I'm just gonna go through them in the order that we received them. And so the first question I want to ask for this, by the way, Show is not here today. R.I.P. Show. No, he's not actually dead. I swear to God. But no, I mentioned on our Discord server that Show was taking a brief hiatus from the podcast to deal with some personal issues. So we wish him well, and hopefully he is back ASAP. But anyway, getting to the questions that you guys asked us on Discord, New Vegas Savior asks, because of Star Wars Visions, what are your guys' thoughts on licensed anime anthologies like The Animatrix, Batman, Gotham Knights, Halo Legends, etc.?
Awesome.
My thoughts? Yeah, like I like them.
I like them too. Like I'm happy that anime studios are like branching out and doing some of these things. Like the Animatrix is kind of old compared to the other ones that you listed, but I love the fact that anime studios license things, especially Western like franchises, and like try to explore the worlds that are created in them. I know a lot of people will shit on it, but I actually loved Halo Legends.
Man, Halo Legends was an anime?
Yes, it was, and it's
I
pretty
almost
good.
forgot about that.
I have never seen Halo Legends.
Me neither.
Cause I don't know. I watched something on. I think it was on Netflix or something. It was another animated Halo thing. It was about like 117 before he was 117.
Oh yeah,
And-
like the little prequel thing. Yeah. I forget
Yeah.
what that was called.
I don't fucking remember, but I hated it because it was like CGI and it was choppy, and overall I was just like, yeah, whatever. So I didn't really want to give Halo Legends a try.
I mean, I think it's worth a shot because there are some really good stories in there. And you mentioned Star Wars Visions. John and I actually did a proper spoiler cast of Star Wars Visions, which should be coming out soon. I think it'll probably be the second Monday of November, hopefully.
What did you think of Star Wars Visions?
I loved it. I think John enjoyed it too. I think he liked it more than any of the Star Wars movies he watched.
We
Well,
don't talk
first
about
of
that.
all, I still haven't seen a full Star Wars movie.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, I couldn't sit through it. It just, I don't know what it is about me and Star Wars. I tried watching episode 4 and episode 1. I gave them like, I don't know, an hour each, and I just hated it. So,
That's fair, I guess.
I mean, it's not. I didn't give it a fair shakedown. I really should watch it, but I just don't.
I mean,
want
the original trilogy is still good.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that Empire Strikes Back is one of the best sci-fi movies ever made, but yeah, I mean, I love Star Wars Visions. I definitely, if you guys enjoyed Star Wars Visions, definitely look forward to John and I's spoiler cast of the entire thing, coming out soon. Fall of Reach, yes, that's exactly what it was called. Thank you. That the Halo prequel thing that you were talking about, John, that's called the Fall of Reach. Yeah, I think in general, I guess we're pretty positive on the idea of licensed Star Wars anthologies, licensed anime anthologies of Western stuff. I like it.
It's like why not? It's like allowing creators to try something new with like a property. It's like why not?
And it might not always work out, but I mean, I think there's value in the attempt.
Yeah, like I from the very little I've seen of Visions, like I love the direction they just let some studios just fucking go wild. Like I love the Kamikaze Doga one with the CG, like the duel.
Yeah, I think that was John's favorite one.
It looks incredible. It's like
like
why not?
It was definitely my favorite just because I really liked the whole black and white and the red sabers.
Kurosawa thingy.
Yeah. Like
wow.
You walked into that bullet, bro.
Nice.
Yeah. No.
Besides Batman Ninja, hoping for more Batman anime. Yeah, the Batman Ninja again. People shit on it, but
Batman
I loved
Ninja?
it.
Who shits on Batman Ninja?
It has
That
like
was
a
amazing.
6 on Mal for some reason.
Well, fuck that.
Well,
It's great.
now I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. People in general thought it was either meh or bad, and like I loved it. I thought it was hella fun to watch. Like, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's like a canonical Batman story, but so what? It's still fun.
It's so good. Yeah, Batman Ninja was really good.
I can appreciate it as like an alternate universe type story, and I fucking loved it. But yeah, hey, speaking of which, Classy Ulysses, here's a question that you asked us. Which 3 anime characters would you pick to cross over into another universe? Not only anime, but MCU, DC, Supernatural, SpongeBob, etc.
God.
That's a good question. What?
Terrible question. What?
No,
First of all,
it's a good question because I can't think of a good answer for it.
You live today, Nintendo.
Wait. I live to fight another day. Wait, again, so crossover of what into an anime?
Which 3 anime characters would you pick to cross over into any other universe? So, I mean, obviously you can pick an anime character to cross over into another anime universe, but they're saying it doesn't necessarily have to just be anime. It can cross over into the MCU, DC universe, whatever.
See, I don't really think about anything like that because I don't want it to. I kind of like my anime to be a separate entity from like DC and Marvel stuff.
I've said it on our game streams before when we do Dead by Daylight. I'd love to see Dead by Daylight incorporate Death Note.
How would Kira work as a killer?
Ryuk?
No, Kira wouldn't be the
like
killer. Ryuk would be the killer, and Light would be the survivor.
Okay, but I don't know. There's a whole balancing thing I have with that.
But he's a Shinigami already, so he's an angel of death. So I can envision him being a killer, right?
Oh my god.
Oh, you're stuck. Oh my goodness.
I can't believe it.
Toadsworth.
Oh my god.
I'll tell you one that I can think of. I don't know if I can think of 3, but I can definitely think of one I would like to see just for the lulz. I'd like to see Mugi from K-On! Cross over into the One Punch Man universe just to fucking beat down Saitama.
Why would she beat him down?
Because she is statistically the strongest anime character in known history.
Oh my god.
Actually? Oh my god.
Now, I'm not even joking. Like, if someone did like an analysis of this like 4 or 5 years ago because of how she's able to carry like this very heavy audio equipment with absolutely no trouble, she must be the strongest human being to ever exist.
That's so stupid.
Okay, but Saitama's a hero, like that. So he can do it too. Like what?
Seen a video about putting Saiyans in Marvel Comics and DC. Yeah, I know a lot of people will probably say something like, the Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z going into like
Goku
Marvel.
Smash Brothers for no reason, so it's like.
I mean, sure.
Like I don't agree with it, but I mean, it has to be like something that's like really, really like, it's so wild and so out there, it makes sense, right? For me to get behind it.
I can certainly see it being done as like a comedy kind of thing for sure, but like I don't think I could ever take anything like that seriously. Anytime characters have ever crossed over like that, I have a difficult time taking it very seriously.
Do you play Kingdom Hearts, my man?
No, I've never played Kingdom Hearts, and I probably never will.
Crossover.
Unless they ever release it
That's
for
the-
PC, I'll never play it.
I mean, they have released it for PC, just to...
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was only on PlayStation.
Oh my god.
And,
Yeah,
like,
they have.
I don't like Kingdom Hearts, so
Like, Kingdom Hearts is stupid, but I do like it. I really like it a
Hachiman
lot,
is the
I think.
next Batman. I'd watch that.
Who?
Hachiman.
Oh no.
I'd watch that.
I mean, why not?
Just a completely disaffected, self-depreciating
I'm trying to figure,
Batman.
like something that.
Yeah, I'd watch that. Another question from Classy Ulysses. Since Marvel's What If season 1 ended, let me try that again. Since Marvel's What If season 1 ended, which What If anime show or characters would you pick, and how do you think it would affect the God, this question is hard to read. Jesus Christ. And how do you think it would affect the story overall?
What if L got the Death Note? Boom, there we go.
There you go.
Ooh.
Actually,
that's
though,
yeah, like what if role reversal, right? Like I think about what if Ainz ever turned like he was a paladin instead of like a necromancer. Like I would love that. Because I see so on the Overlord subreddit, for example, I think someone did a Holy Pope Ainz once, and I was just like, dude, what if Ainz was the Holy Pope? Like, how would he have
Role
interacted
reversal
with...
was so much fun. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like role reversal, like, or not just role reversal, but like, what if it was Touch Me that went in, that was reincarnated, you know? And according to the books, Touch Me is like super about justice and stuff like that. Like, would it turn into your typical isekai trash? Like,
yes.
I don't know. And
I
that's what's
believe I
interesting
landed
to
that.
me.
Yeah, like role reversals are a lot of fun. I dig.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any in particular that I've ever thought of. Like, I thought about it for JoJo's before. Like, what if Part 6 actually had the Invisible Baby as the main character from Part 4 instead of Jolene? That'd be cool.
What if?
I still think. So I know, Natai, you haven't seen Part 6 of JoJo's yet, and you're
No
really
spoilers.
hyped for it. You know by now that I've never been particularly
Fond of it.
fond of the ending for Part 6.
Shush.
I definitely think it shouldn't have ended the way it did, and I would love to have seen one more part in the like regular or the original JoJo's universe.
I'm looking forward to watching Part 6 so I can actually talk to you about the ending of Part 6 because goddamn, you're haunting me about it for years now.
See, I thought you were a Joe bro, Natai. I thought you'd be completely caught up. What the heck?
No, he don't read the manga. I've been trying to get him to read the manga, and he won't do it.
Oh, you don't read the manga?
No.
The anime so much. I'm waiting.
Oh my
I'm
God,
watching
dude.
the anime. It's so good, dude. Let's
I'm
be
just
honest.
waiting. I'm just waiting for Steel Ball Run to be animated. To be
Oh, for
honest.
sure. But no, I always loved the idea of the Invisible Baby from Part 4, and I would love to have seen that idea like expanded out more. I love the fact that actual like JoJo's fan artists have gone and extrapolated what the Invisible Baby would have looked like at the age of 20. Just the bit Invisible Baby's name ended up being Shizuka Joestar. And I love the designs that people came up with for, and I think she would make a really great main character for a JoJo's part. It's just a shame that Araki never went back to her.
I feel like if Araki didn't go back to her, it was probably for a good reason.
Maybe. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten Steel Ball Run, I guess, so that's a plus.
Yeah. Well, it's just because, like, there's a lot of what-if situations, right? Where it's like, well, what if this happened? And it's like, just because it's a cool concept doesn't mean it would...
Doesn't mean it's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Exactly, I agree.
That's kind of the whole, like...
Fun to think about, but maybe not great for a story.
Well, that's why I like to keep it simple. Like, what if we just did role reversal for, like, instead of being bad, Ainz is good? Like, because that's kind of cheating, right? Because of the fucking Evil Eye side story. So you get to see what happens if he reincarnates into... Or if he goes to the New World without Nazarick being there. Like, how he would act.
Oh my god.
How you live today, Natai. I ran out of fuel. I had to reload.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing to think about. All right, next question comes from Corn Sensei on our Discord server. What is the worst show you enjoyed and still actively enjoy, anime or otherwise? It's not a show; it's actually a movie. But I'm gonna say The Room. I absolutely love that movie, even though it's terrible.
But it's no one is mad at you for enjoying The Room.
No,
That defeats the purpose of the question.
I mean,
Oh, God.
the worst show I actively enjoyed. I mean, I'm trying to think of an anime that I think.
I
Well,
mean,
Danmachi.
you
It's
like
not
K-On!
good, but I enjoy it.
I can't believe you didn't hear that.
What?
I said you like K-On!
Excuse
Oh.
me. Excuse
Oh.
me.
Hey-On's a good
Excuse
show.
me.
Fuck off, bro.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm still looking forward to watching it.
Oh,
Oh my
K-On! Is
God.
the best. What are you talking about? I swear to God, if you say Yudu Camp, I will strangle you through the computer right now.
See, I can't think of any show that I like watching that I'm like objectively this is a bad show because
Yeah, I don't watch bad shows.
well, because usually if I find a show objectively bad, I'd stop watching.
Hold on, you say that, Natai. You've watched all of One Piece. Fuck off.
Oh,
This is
yeah, there he goes. He
cute.
unironically enjoys One Piece.
That's right.
This is actually good.
No, it's not.
I have zero attachment to that stupid show, and I enjoyed it. It's actually good.
No, it's not.
It's actually good.
Trying to think if there's any other anime besides like Danmachi, which I think is just not good, but I still enjoy. Like I'll be honest, I enjoy Danmachi because Hesty has ginormous tits.
I mean, I guess you can say like the Overlord anime is really bad. I don't enjoy the anime.
But you like the source
as much
material.
as but I love the source material. But I also I don't know, because I can always find a silver lining for something that I'm watching. That I can say like, well, the animation may be terrible with the CGI and stuff, but man, that music, that soundtrack, boy.
That's a shame. It's like I tried to, like I thought about Interspecies Reviewers, but I legitimately think that's a good show. I don't even know.
Yeah, people shit on it just because it's like
It is a good show.
it's
though.
a genuinely good like
It's a good
comedy.
comedy. Yeah.
High School
I would
DxD,
argue-
okay, that's a good choice. I mean, like I can't say I enjoyed High School DxD, but I didn't hate it either.
How much of it have you watched?
Like the first 2 seasons. I don't know. I
The
feel
only
like
thing
I feel like High School DxD would be better if they just turned it into a straight up hentai.
I mean, you can find that.
I
I
can.
know, really. Yeah. I'd argue that I don't know. I didn't like High School DxD. The only thing I liked about High School DxD was the ending song with the stripper poles. I love the stripper poles section.
That's
that was
pretty
awesome.
good. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me go to
It's
my
like-
Mal
it's like-
page and
It's
see.
like the only show that I
Yeah,
watched
the
that
plot.
actively like. I mean, I did stick with SAO, and it is bad, but I don't enjoy it. So I don't know.
At this point, aren't you just watching it for like the visuals?
No, I mean, like the visuals are great, but it's not a good show. Not at all. I mean,
Domestic
watch it
Girlfriend.
because-
Okay, classy. Domestic Girlfriend just isn't good though.
you watch Domestic Girlfriend?
I mean, I did. It's. I don't understand what so many people see in that show.
I mean, the OP is great. I haven't bothered watching it beyond the OP though.
I like how you're just beating the fuck out of him. You're not even bothering shooting him.
Because the weapons are too OP in the game, to be honest.
I'm looking
Especially
at
since it's new.
Mal right now of the
Oh my
stuff that I've
God,
watched
stop
and
it.
rated pretty highly, and see if there's anything on here that I think is genuinely bad, but I still like.
It's a hard question because again, I
make an effort to
I
watch shows
do
that
I know I
enjoy
do
that are
watch shows
good.
that I think are bad objectively, but it's like I can always like sure it may be an
Wait, but
objectively
John,
bad
you read
show,
a shit
but
ton of like light novels and manga, and some of them are probably not great, right?
oh yeah, no, 100%. Like I still read Isekai Smartphone. Like I know that's
You
a
still
bad
read
book.
that?
Yeah, I still fucking read that.
wow.
I read the manga. I stopped reading the source material, the web novel, because it's
See,
written
now
very
I think we
poorly.
open up a Pandora's box that's way more interesting. That's John's reading habits.
I know,
Oh,
right?
yeah, no, my reading habits are trash. Like I have zero. Look, as long as it's an OPMC, I'm fucking watching or reading that
My
shit.
God.
Like, I know, and eventually I'll hit a point where I'm like, you know what? I don't think I will, and then I just drop it for the rest of my life.
Okay, I have an answer to this that I don't think is great, but I actually do genuinely enjoy it, even though I will even admit it's a really bad anime, Darling in the Franxx.
I don't think that's a very unique. That's just because of the ending, though, right? Everyone.
It's
like,
not
everyone
just that.
it.
It's like I like it for the aesthetic too, but yeah, the ending just takes a giant shit all over the story.
Come on.
Huh?
You like Zero Two's tits. Don't lie.
Well, not even just that. I just like the aesthetic of the show. Like, yeah, it looks very Trigger too. So I mean, obviously, I'm gonna like it for that. But like, I love the costume designs. Like, I love the fact that the guys wear uniforms that have like a Y collar, and then the girls have an X collar. That's like a cool little design feature. Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed that while it was airing, even despite how shitty its ending was. Also, I guess the recent Ultraman 3D CG anime I genuinely enjoyed, even though I think it was kind of bad.
Ultraman.
I am genuinely happy it's getting a second season.
Which show?
Orchid War says Love Hina. Love Hina was actually good back in the day, though. Like, it was good harem shit.
No, that's his cousin. Get out of here. Fuck out of here. That's his cousin.
You mean how, like, in Sailor... You mean like how in Sailor Moon they're definitely cousins, they're not lesbians?
Dude, that was the weirdest fucking choice to change. Like,
yeah, like, if you're gonna censor that, why wouldn't you change it to something just like they're friends who like each other a lot?
Yeah, like, oh, they were friends and they were roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates.
The weird censorship for stuff like that back in the day was crazy. Like, the 90s are weird, man. You couldn't even talk about being homosexual for children. Like, no, like, you couldn't do that.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't be sexualizing children in the first place at all, but...
No, I mean, you couldn't even mention, like, homosexuality in anything that was for children, though, back then.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, I get why. Because... old people? Really? Like, duh?
Friends with benefits? Yeah, they would have been better off going with that instead of saying cousins.
Well, I mean, that was a common thing. Like...
Yeah, I know.
Why Sappho and her friend, you know, and they were roommates.
Oh my god.
That post that kills me is like, yeah, my coworker was, or my dad was thinking about how my aunt and her best friend are like 80 years old and living with each other, and he realized they only had one room, and he was like, oh my god, is she sleeping on the couch? It's not great. She's like 80. It's like, bro.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How are you that, like, out of the loop, though?
No, because even like with regular like just going out, right?
Oh, how did I lose that engagement?
Because you didn't melee. You got a melee, bro. But like, yeah, even in current 2021, gay couples will go out and they'll still be mistaken for like, oh, are you brothers or are you like father? You know, I'm not even kidding. Like,
I'd just be going up to them like, hey, y'all fucking.
Yeah, like, their first thought isn't that people are fucking or dating. It's like they're friends, or they're, you know, like, there is this other girl. She was she actually did have a friend that, like,
you're talking about IRL? Is this an IRL John story here?
No. Yes, maybe. It depends. So no, it was someone was working at a hotel, I believe, and they talked about how one of their friends or something, they got a room for her, right? They're two girls, and her best friend, aka best friend, aka quote unquote best friend, got her a nice room for the weekend and this and that, you know, stuff that you would do usually for an anniversary. And it's like, oh yeah, they must be best friends for her to do that. It's like, yeah, they're best friends, all right.
That's funny.
Like, it's not the fact that it's just like, it completely didn't cross their mind that she's doing this because it's their anniversary. Like, because it was she got a bed and it had rose petals and stuff and said happy anniversary to you know, Sam or something, and it's like, wow, what a nice friend. I can't believe best friend. Like, yeah, they're best friends. All right, dude.
Someone is playing with the new Nerf limited needler. Yeah, I saw that. I'd love to get that thing, by the way.
Oh, you can't even climb this. What the heck?
All right, so next question comes from our boy Soon. Do you own any games that you personally feel like you play out of obligation of buying it? Yes, Dead by Daylight.
Warframe.
I don't understand how Warframe. You don't buy Warframe. Warframe is
No, you buy
you sell
Warframe
your
buys
time
you.
to play Warframe.
No, but I stopped. I stopped with Warframe. It's done.
Back in the
See,
day,
I
Chinoda
can't,
tried to get me into that shit, and I played for like 10 minutes, and I realized, nah, this is not for me.
Don't get me wrong. I love the game, but I'm like, no, it's done. I'm not playing that anymore. I've played way too much.
So I liked Warframe. I actually unironically enjoyed that as a video game.
The combat is a lot of fun. It feels great to play. It just
The new Avengers game. I haven't played it. Isn't he good?
Always looks like it looked like shit to me when they announced it, and I look at it, all the models look like knockoff models of like the movie characters.
So it's
right?
like a Chinese Avengers game.
Because no, oh my god, because it's obviously it would cost too much money to pay for the likeness, right?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, why don't you just design wholly original looks for the characters?
Because then no one would play it.
But still, no one played it.
Well, people aren't very smart in its eye. I don't know. The only thing I can think of is Dead by Daylight, and I don't hate the game, but it's definitely not as good as it could be. For me, most of the time when I play a video game, even if I buy it, if I don't enjoy it, I just don't play it. I don't feel like I want to waste my time with that shit.
See, I'm the exact same way. Why the fuck would I want to play a game that I hate? I have plenty of games that I hate that I have less than, I don't know, 6 play hours on, because I've only played it that one time, and then I don't play it ever again. So, it's nothing new.
Play Spider-Man and the Batman Arkham trilogy. From what I understand, I've never played the Batman Arkham trilogy, but from what I've seen of it, it actually looks fun.
Yeah, the Arkham games are really fun. The closest I got to playing a game I really hated was grinding in Destiny 2 for the raids, because the raids in Destiny 2 are a lot of fun, but the rest of the game is just dog shit. For me at least, I just really didn't enjoy it. But the raids are just so much fun playing them together with your friends. That's fuck it, I'll just do it for that, because it's that worth it to me.
I guess the closest I can say that I ever really came to it is probably Civ 6. But the only reason I played it is because I enjoyed playing it with Show. I enjoy playing games with Show.
Well, see, I wouldn't say that counts, because if you enjoy playing it, because there's plenty of games that I have that I hate playing alone, because it's why the fuck would I ever play this by myself? But playing with friends is fine. Like The Forest, for example. I hate playing The Forest by myself. I think it's a really shitty game to play, just in general. No offense out there to anyone who actually likes The Forest. I just think as a survival horror game,
what's The Forest?
It's like a cannibal survival horror game. It's more horror than it is survival, to be honest. But I don't know. I think because I came off of playing 7 Days to Die, and I really like 7 Days to Die. It's a really fun one-player experience, and it's a really fun group experience. But then The Forest is it's a lot more horror, and I don't know, it's just not very refined in my opinion. But I hated playing The Forest alone. But when I played with my friends, it was actually fun, because it was we get into crazy situations together and stuff like that.
Yeah, I tried to play Civ 6 by myself, and it was super frustrating. But when I played with Show, I actually enjoyed it.
Oh my god.
Nice headshot.
He's literally just standing still and shooting. I'm gonna have to punish this boy for a little.
It's Minecraft with cannibal mutants. I mean, that's kind of sounds accurate, to be honest.
Oh my god.
All right, next question comes from Second Lieutenant Mexican Tapwater, which I love that username, by the way. What is the best short anime in terms of episode count you've ever watched? That's a good... I don't know if this counts as a short in terms of episode count because it was only 11 episodes, but probably Birdie the Mighty.
That was only 11 episodes?
It was 11 episodes and 2 movies, which I don't know if that really counts as an answer to the question, but
I haven't watched it yet, but I have a good feeling that once I get to it, fully coolly, I'll love it.
Oh, Fooly Cooley is another one. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
6 episodes, right?
The original Fooly Cooley, yes, is 6 episodes, and then I believe each of the other 2 seasons is also only 6 episodes.
See, that's a good answer.
Again, I need to watch it first, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love it. So,
I kind of wish
you know what? I guess JoJo's Part 1 is a short anime.
which one?
Part 1 of JoJo's. It's only 9 episodes.
But it's part 1. It gets better the further you get into JoJo's.
But it was really good. My point is that it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good, but it's only like I feel like I enjoy it only like the more I watch JoJo's, because then it just
I've talked to you about this before on the podcast. Like the further I've gotten in JoJo's, even with the manga, like the more I appreciate Part 1 for the incredible world it was able to set up in such a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other really short anime out there that I've ever. But I mean, besides anthology series, which are just pretty much one episode, one-offs for each story.
If we're talking about pure episode count, I feel like Fooly Cooley wins. It takes the cake,
Yeah.
There's no way you can like. It has to reign king. There's no other like option to fucking.
Yeah, it's like 6 episodes.
It's 6 episodes, and
yeah.
every single time you guys say that, I go, no, it wasn't. You guys are lying. It wasn't 6 episodes.
And you go look, and it's like, oh yeah, it is.
It felt like a fucking 12-episode anime, but it's like, no, it's 6 episodes. Like, oh.
Oh, we can't swear for 10 minutes? That sucks.
Oh.
Why would you do this? Why would you do this during a WTF? That doesn't count.
Try.
Oh man, hold on. I gotta set a timer now. I gotta set a timer now for no swearing. I hate this.
He doesn't even automate our bot stuff.
Wow. Oh my god.
I know, right? I suck at this streaming thing. All right, I've set a timer. I watched JoJo for about 1 to 2 and just stopped watching. I mean, JoJo's is one of those things where you really like it or you don't. I think.
Why would you stop at part 1?
Yeah, I feel like to get the JoJo's experience, you got to get to at least part 3, right?
I think part 2 is for me. Part 2 was the part that sold me on JoJo.
Oh, fair enough. Part 2 with Joseph is pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I feel like going from I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like part 1 very much. It's just very. If you're not a fan of JoJo's, like I was a fan of part 3, right? And I knew about part 3 before, and then that's when I started watching part 1 and 2. I'm gonna be honest, looking back at it, because I liked part 3, that's why I could stand part 1, because part 1 is actually pretty it's stupid as fuck, dude.
Oh, you swore.
Jack the Ripper jumps over the horse. It's great.
I can't I can't. Part 1 is bad. Okay, I hate saying that, but part 1 is pretty bad. It's very hammy. It's very ham-on.
Harmony. It's harmony.
So
Ina would appreciate that pun.
That's what makes I appreciate it for being so hammy and stupid, but that's the longer and the more we come away from it, the more I enjoy it, because it's so weird on its own, right?
Part 1 is just so mediocre, there's no stands. It's obviously Araki just starting to get into hey, I'm making a new series, and it's got super because it feels like it's just a ripoff of
Fist of the North Star, yeah.
Fist of North Star, yeah. Buff dudes fighting each other, and
it
certainly got away from that as the parts went on, though.
Yeah, and with the power of Hamon, that's not to say that stands make it are what make JoJo super popular, because I would argue part 2 is also my favorite part. But that's just because I love Joseph as a character.
Part 4 is the best, just saying.
Part 5 is the best, just saying.
No, Steel Ball Run is actually the best. So.
Okay, you got a point.
When will we get an anime for that? When will we get it?
Yeah, when there's an anime for that, I can say it's the best. But I I don't know. I care a lot more about the characters than I thought I would. As far as part one characters go, they're not like other than Dio. Dio's a great villain,
Dio.
but it's just again, it's so very hammy of a show to watch.
It
And
is.
when you tell someone, "Oh man, JoJo's is so good," and then they watch part
They
one,
watch part one. They're like, what the fuck?
yeah, and then everyone's like,
y'all are not doing this right.
Yeah, so, and that's kind of a universal thing. Like, I wish it wasn't, but it is. So,
Yeah.
It
I don't know. I feel like if you're going to watch JoJo's, at least get through part 2. I feel like if you don't like part 1, part 2 might be more your bag. And then when part 3 is really when it starts popping off, in my opinion.
The thing is, part 3 is like kind of weird for me because I enjoyed part 3, but it was kind of hard to get through because it's so long and some of the fights are not as good as you want them to be.
You mean like the one with the sun?
The sun, the one with I don't know, like some of them were just okay.
They're literally
the one with the
fighting the
cars.
sun.
I like the one that's
yeah,
fighting the
if
car.
it wasn't for the fact that I'm super into, like, Yankee, whatever the fucking... I'm into, like, the badass characters.
like Jotaro.
Yeah, I'm super into JoJo's aesthetic.
See,
like
that's why I like Josuke so much because he's that guy, but like stupid because he's like
Kuwabara.
a kid.
He's freaking
Yeah.
Kuwabara. And you can't...
Exactly. I love it.
Down to Wells, part 1 was written in the 80s. 87? 86 or 87 is when part 1 was written. Part 2 was also written in the 80s. I believe part 3 was the first part to be written in the 90s.
I remember when part 5 aired, the anime, and we got to the what's the name of it? The Gyatso fight with the ice stand. I can't remember the name. It's escaping my mind. And then like there's this one part where he's like activating his super move, and the discussion for the episode, like one of the comments was like, yeah, so that chapter of the manga released in the same magazine as the first chapter of One Piece. And like, holy shit, I forgot how old JoJo is. Insane. Absolutely insane.
I'd like to point out I'm the only one not swearing right now.
Oh.
I'm working really hard at it too.
I don't
Sorry
know
about
why
that.
you made that as a rule. I'm gonna keep swearing. I don't care, man.
I kind of regret it already. Two
Wait, we
parts.
need to find
Attack on
some
Titan
slow
got me hooked in the
punch,
first 2 episodes. I'm glad it got you hooked. I'm 4 seasons into Attack on Titan and I'm still not hooked.
Shut up.
I don't know if being 4 seasons in, you're gonna be hooked by season 5.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that hook, man. I'm still waiting for that Attack on Titan hook. Does it get good soon?
It already got good.
No, it didn't.
Insane. Yes, it did.
It has like 3 good parts that totaled last like 15 whole minutes.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so to answer back to the original question,
Rolling.
back to the original. I'm just gonna be so glad when that's over too, and we can do that final spoiler cast, and it's
Me
done, and I
too.
never have to go back to it again. And then in
Recording
12 to 16
these-
months, everyone will forget about Attack on Titan because it was never that good.
Dude, recording this podcast with you was just an exercise in endurance.
Yeah. Well, you got one more to go. So to answer the
Oh.
question that was originally asked, I think, yeah, Fooly Cooly, best short anime.
Oh my
I
god.
haven't even
we've been-
watched it yet.
We've been just talking about so much other than anime.
We were just talking
Yeah.
about JoJo for half a
Right.
second.
This is what happens whenever we talk about JoJo. It always goes into the same fucking like something. Oh yeah, but then JoJo's, and then we like
JoJo's.
And JoJo's. So the next question comes from Pyrathis. Pyrathis? I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to pronounce
Rappa
it.
the Rappa?
Parappa the Rapper, yeah. Who is the best Halloween-themed anime character, and why is it Blair from Soul Eater? Blair from Soul Eater is one of the best Halloween-themed anime characters ever. I would actually argue that Soul Eater as a whole is probably the best Halloween-themed anime ever.
quite understand.
Dio is a good Halloween character.
Dio?
I don't know if I can think of a good Halloween character. I'm having a hard
I mean,
time.
Blair from Soul Eater is a good choice. Any of the zombie characters from Zombieland Saga, I guess, would be good.
Oh, that's actually good. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know very many. What is freaking Halloween character mean? I don't understand.
Spooky.
Spooky
Oogie.
Oogie?
Spooky Oogie.
fucking-
Spooky Oogie from Monogatari.
Spooky
Yeah,
Oogie.
sure. We'll go with that.
Spooky.
I would argue like the Victorian horror theme of JoJo's Part 1 makes it a nice Halloween anime.
Nah.
AOT is one of the most important anime of all time. Not true.
Oh, I'm
Sure,
not having
buddy.
that discussion
Not
with you,
not
Alex.
not true at all.
Yeah,
within
I know.
within 2 years of it being over, everyone will forget about it. Another is a really good Halloween anime. Yeah. I would argue that the book is better, but still, the anime is not bad.
I don't know, man. There's not a lot of horror anime I like at all. Maybe Uzumaki will change my name.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah. Oh, anything Junji Ito well, we're not anime, but like his manga. Anything Junji Ito manga, yeah, for sure.
So John, gonna drop that flag or what?
Wait for you to come back, bro.
Because of the gothic setting, Black Butler. I mean, yeah, Black Butler's got some Halloween aesthetics to it. It's mostly just very gay, though. I mean, am I
you'd
wrong?
enjoy that, though.
Am I wrong? It's pretty gay.
No.
Little Witch Academia has a bit of a Halloween vibe to it sometimes.
Hey, Witch Academia is gay.
It's very lesbian. You're absolutely right about that.
Oh my god, I hate this.
What is the daily life of MCs that is
I
essential?
don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking of like a
Very
good
cool.
Halloween characters. Like,
Yeah.
what was the last Halloween show you watched?
The last Halloween
It's not-
anime?
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's hard to go against Soul Eater. Like, that whole anime just has a very Halloween aesthetic to it.
Well, I really liked When the Cicadas Cry. When they cry.
Higurashi.
Igarashi?
Higurashi, thank you. Yeah. I
That's a
like
Halloween
Higurashi.
anime?
It's horror.
It's definitely
I'm gonna-
horror.
All right, so I don't know what a Halloween anime is, other
Yeah.
than I guess you could say Soul Eater for the Halloween aesthetic, but I'm just thinking horror anime is kind of because again I didn't like Soul Eater very much. I love I guess that's not true. I liked the kid, whatever the fuck his name
Death
was.
the Kid?
Death the Kid.
Oh, finally, I can fucking swear again.
I mean, you've been always able to swear. You just didn't want to because you made that stupid rule up without consulting anyone. So.
King's
He's a
Game?
good boy, I guess.
I've never seen
King's
King's
Game.
Game. Is it a good Halloween anime?
Isn't it a Chinese anime?
I don't know. John?
I've never. Just because I like a couple Chinese freaking novels.
You're
and
a
shows.
Chinese media enjoyer. What
Am
are
I
you
the-
talking about?
First of all, just because is it because I'm Chinese? Is that what
I never
Oh,
said
wow.
that. I never said that.
A little bit of casual
So,
racism.
That's not very casual at all, actually, to be honest. But I've never seen King's Game.
All right, well, kind of going off the whole horror / Halloween vibe, we got another question from Classy Ulysses. What's your guys' favorite scary / horror movies?
Ooh,
I still haven't found a horror movie I enjoyed, actually. Not gonna lie.
Really?
It's like every time I watch one, I was like, it's alright. I don't know. But I haven't watched like the big ones. Like I'm still looking forward to watching The Shining, like sometime, because I know we're gonna dig that baby. I'm probably wrong, but it seems like it's up my alley.
I would argue that The Shining. I love Stanley Kubrick. All right, don't get me wrong. But oh my God, Natai.
I feel like this
Trying
is
to
going to
talk.
be
Get
a
outta
big
here.
butt
Get
that's
outta
about to
here.
come to here.
I will argue that the original Stephen King novel is actually better.
Oh, I 100% agree with that, by the way.
But I hate saying that because I hate Stephen King. I don't know what it is about his writing. I just hate it.
I mean, he's also kind of a shitty person too, but we won't get with that.
Wasn't he high on coke every time he wrote most of his
Yes, he is a avid lover of cocaine.
I don't know, just like having he has a lot of weird like sexualized scenes and stuff. in a
Well,
bunch of
look
his-
at it. I mean, there's a fucking gangbang scene with 13-year-olds.
Okay, first of all, it's
What
not a
are you
gangbang.
talking about?
They run a train on her. Okay.
Okay,
There's a difference.
okay, sure.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so after they fight, spoilers for anyone who hasn't read the novel, which I'm not ashamed of telling people at all because it's a bad novel.
Which one?
It.
Reading it.
Oh, okay. I only watched the movie.
Yeah, so after their first encounter with the clown Pennywise,
Right.
they are like, "Oh, we need to do something to immortalize this thing, like so we don't forget what happened here." Oh, I know. Let's all run a train on the girl.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and the
Yes.
people who are doing this are 13.
Yeah, the
What's
13-year-olds.
the logic, man? What?
Because what a better way to like immortalize your summer than of fighting this freaking alien clown thing than having sex and losing your virginity. Like, that's why. Stephen King is an awful fucking writer for a lot of reasons. One of them being that he has a lot of weird sex scene stuff that he's just like, man, why are you so bad at writing?
I feel like he has these great ideas for like horror and suspense novels, and then like halfway through he always gets really horny and then just writes a chapter where he gets all that out.
Oh, but why is he getting horny with 13-year-olds?
That's a great question. I will say
That's a
one
bad
of his
question.
novels,
You should be asking.
it is a question I should be asking. One of his novels that I absolutely love, and it got turned into an equally good movie, is Misery. I
Okay,
love
Misery's
the
a
movie
good one,
Misery. Just found out Stephen King and his son helped made a G.I. Joe character named Crystal. I did not know that. I did not know
What?
Stephen King had anything to do with G.I. Joe. That's kind of a crazy.
Yeah, what?
It's a crazy
Speaking of which,
combination
anyone-
right there. Stephen
Wanna
King and
explain
G.I.
to me
Joe.
why are G.I. Joes big? Or
They
were
used to be big
What-
in the 80s
Why?
Patriotism.
because patriotism is a big thing in the United States.
Yeah. Honestly, that's actually why.
If I had to pick like a,
Unironically.
if I had to pick a single,
Unironically, it's patriotism.
if I had to pick a single favorite horror movie for myself, probably the original Friday the 13th because it's the only one without Jason in it.
So who is it? Who is it if not Jason? What are you
It's
talking
Jason's mom. Jason's mom is the killer in Friday the 13th Part
God.
1.
Oh yeah.
Jason only appears at the very, very end of the movie
Yeah, when he comes out of the lake.
when he comes out of the
Oh
lake.
shit! Spoilers! God damn it!
I'm not even. Listen, I am not even the
yeah,
least
at
bit.
this point, it's like, is it even a spoiler?
It's pretty well
It's
known.
so
It's probably
old.
like pop. It's sort of like saying that everyone knows that Darth Vader is Luke's father. Like everyone knows.
about? What are you talking about?
But yeah, I love the original Friday the 13th movie. It, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael. Are you just listing things that you like? I mean,
Well, Nightmare on Elm Street was that Johnny Depp's first movie role?
What? No.
I don't. It was one of his first, but I don't think this was
I'm
the first.
Fairly certain it's his first one.
I'd have to look that up. I know it was really early in his career.
It's so. So it's not a horror movie, but I started reading Uzumaki, Devito Uzumaki, and that was fucking terrifying. So I enjoyed
Uzumaki
that.
is
I
kind
haven't
of
finished
creepy.
it. It's so good though.
Uzumaki?
Uzumaki.
So good. I'm really looking forward to the.
I'm looking
anime.
forward to the
Hopefully it's
anime,
good.
but I'm not holding my breath that it's going to be good.
As long as it's not like the fucking Junji Ito collection that Dean released like 4 years
Yeah,
ago, I
fuck
think it would be
Dean.
good. Fuck Dean.
I don't know how they could fuck that up. Like,
It's Dean. They can fuck anything up.
remember when they made anime great again and everyone was hyped?
Yeah, and then they
Yeah,
just
but-
immediately went back to how they used to be. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, they made both Konosuba and Rakugo Shinju at the same time. It's like, oh my god, anime is saved.
And they're like, yeah, we're done making good anime, guys. Bye.
We've had our fill of good
We've had our
anime for a
fill.
decade.
We don't even want to make any more Konosuba. We're gonna pawn that off to someone else now.
I mean, it was
Wait,
good.
did someone actually like pick up Konosuba?
Yeah, for the
I mean,
movie.
the
It was
movie done by
A1.
JC staff.
Oh, JC
No,
staff.
JC staff.
JC staff, yeah, ended up picking up for the movie, and I guess they're going to be
And they
doing whatever the
recently said
next
that-
anime project is, which they still haven't said whether it's going to be
They
a movie or
said what it is.
a series.
Yeah, and we don't know who is doing it.
I have a feeling it's probably going to be JC staff, whatever it happens to be.
I wouldn't hold my breath in this anime industry, dude.
Yeah, right. All right, next question, also from Class Ulysses. Back when you were kids, what was your favorite costumes to wear on Halloween? I can say that for multiple years in a row, I was Dracula.
Yikes.
I know.
Pogo bunnies.
What?
Pogo bunnies. I
Pogo
dress up as a big bunny and
So I
just
have
jump on a pogo
So my
stick.
question about that is, Natai, so you live in Israel. Is Halloween even a big deal in Israel?
Nah, we have Purim, which is like our equivalent of it.
Okay.
Which is our holiday of like dressing up in costumes.
Okay. Okay.
That's happening during February or March, something like that.
Every time I hear Uzumaki, I think of Naruto Uzumaki. I mean, it's a fair assessment to make. So what did you dress up as when you were a kid, John, or did you?
All right, listen. I was very poor as a child. I come from a very poor family, from a poor neighborhood. Spare me my life from this monstrosity. No, I fucked it up. I was just a poor boy from a poor family. That's what it was. But my parents did the best that they could. I generally, probably Pokemon. I liked Pokemon a lot.
Did you dress up as Ash?
No, I dressed up like as Pokemon. I really liked Pokemon.
Oh, gotcha.
Which Pokemon? That's the question.
I was Pikachu. I was Meryl at one point. Those are the only ones I can really remember. I don't have a lot of memories of like my childhood because of depression and other problems, but I do remember dressing up as Pikachu. I like Pikachu a lot. I was super into Pokemon. I was a Pokemon kid.
Is Pikachu still a favorite?
Yeah, probably because of the anime though. I mean, I loved all the dragon types a lot more. Like, obviously, I wanted to be like Dragonite.
Charizard.
But Charizard's not a dragon. Get out of here.
Fuck you, it's a dragon to me. It makes no sense that he's not a dragon. I hate
He's
it.
a giant fucking fire salamander. He's not a dragon.
I
What's
know,
his type?
but then they made X and he is a dragon there.
Oh my god, get out
So
of
I'll
here,
take it.
dude. Get out of here. Like 15 years later, get out. It doesn't count.
I mean, he's got a point.
Damn it.
Wait, someone redeemed a sound alert and I didn't hear it play. Let me see if I can get it to play for you. Hold on 1 second.
So, Snorlax gang rise up, just saying.
Oh yeah, Snorlax is good
Snorlax
too.
is the best. Yeah, I love Snorlax. He's my favorite.
I dressed as Snorlax once.
Oh, I'd love to see that. I want a Snorlax plushie someday, like a big life-size Snorlax.
Yeah, get ready to spend like 500 USD.
Pretty much.
Well, I can't get it
Ever
to
that
play
much
either,
isn't-
so sorry about that. I don't know why sound alerts aren't working right now, but they're not. They're not even working for me, and I have control over all of them. Let's see. Batman costume from Batman and Robin that has the nipples.
What?
I mean,
Gotta have the nipples.
I guess if you're gonna have a costume, go for the one with the nipples.
It's the best one.
That's what I hear. That's what I wear every year for Halloween since I was a kid. I admire the commitment, man. I really do. There's nothing.
Yikes.
There's nothing like
That's-
that. Joel, remember the Joel Schumacher Batman film with the nipples. That's all you need to know.
Does it come
I
with
don't
the
know what you're
the
talking
credit
about.
card?
I don't want to know what you're talking about.
So back in the '90s,
Oh god.
there was a Batman movie
There
made
we
called
go.
Batman and Robin, and the suits that they wore actually had nipples like put into them. I don't know why,
What?
but they actually did
You've
have
never
nipples
seen
put
that?
into them.
No.
It looks so weird. It's so funny. So they have this like montage of this just zooming out their like plastic crotches while suiting up. It's great. It's great. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I remember the. Chill out.
Yeah, and it's
Chill
just
out.
that entire movie is just full of the shittiest puns
No,
ever.
I remember this. And isn't Danny DeVito the Penguin?
Yes.
Wait, no,
I
that's
remember-
That's a different movie, but yes,
Oh.
it was the same time period, and yes, Danny DeVito was the Penguin.
You're loud.
Homer as the Batman.
They had
That's,
so Jack Nicholson
Batman
was
Forever?
in this era. You had Jack Nicholson as the Joker. You had Jim
Okay.
Carrey as the Riddler. You had Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Freeze.
as Mr.
or Mr. Freeze, excuse me. And
He's
who else was in those movies? I forget. There was some other big name that was in those movies. I don't know. It was a weird time for Batman. It really was.
Michelle Pfeiffer was Catwoman. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes, Michelle Pfeiffer was Catwoman. Yes.
Those were weird movies. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, those are some weird. That was a weird time for Batman movies. Holy cow!
So like you had a few guys playing Batman. You had fucking Michael Keaton for the first two.
Val Kilmer.
And then you had George Clooney.
George Clooney, yeah.
I almost said Jar Jar Binks. So like no.
Jar Jar Binks. Yeah.
See, again, I don't have very many memories of my childhood stuff, but it sounds like what they would do back then.
He's burning me alive.
Yeah.
I remember this. I remember this quite a lot.
Yeah. Figure out the bugs. Now, I don't know what's going on with the sound alerts. I wish I knew. Bat Clooney, Bat Kilmer, yeah. It was weird times for Batman, man. Batman, man. And I guess we're getting the Batman soon, which is not the best title. I'll be perfectly honest. All right, so last question before we move on.
Robert Pattinson or something.
Yeah, that's the one with Pattinson, the actor who's trying desperately to make everyone forget he ever worked in the Twilight movies.
I mean, he's doing a good job so far.
Yeah, I actually think he's a pretty decent actor, to be honest.
Yeah.
We shouldn't judge him based on bad roles. Like,
no, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't
judge. Not that he did a bad job. It was just bad source material. Like,
and it was early in his career, so I mean, come on. All right, so last question from Discord: what mythical creature, cryptid, or urban legend would be perfect for an anime?
Honestly, I just think about the SCP stuff. Like,
yeah, I think SCP would just make a great anime material.
I want an H.P. Lovecraft anime song.
I don't know. I feel like
it can be done. Like in animation, you have you have no limitation in animation, right?
Yeah.
So you can just go as nuts and as weird as you want.
Like if it was an SCP anthology, I'd probably enjoy that a lot more.
I figured out the sound alerts.
Oh, did you?
I figured it out. I finally got your sound alert to play. Sorry, go ahead. I got excited.
I was like, oh, okay. Like, I guess.
Sorry about that. I got super excited that I got the sound alerts to work.
So, yeah, SCP as an anthology would be great, but if we're talking strictly cryptids like Loch Ness and Bigfoot, Mothman, stuff like that, I'd probably like Mothman a lot.
Mothman would be good.
So is it literally just a big moth?
Yeah,
it's a Mothman.
It's a man that is a moth.
It's a man that's a moth. Crazy as that might sound. I'm trying to think of. I can certainly think of some stories, like real life, actual like creepy stories that would make for good anime material. Like the Dyatlov Pass incident, I think would make a really good like anime movie or something.
The what?
The Dyatlov Pass incident where the people went hiking in Russia and like,
oh yeah.
They found them. It was during the winter and like there was a really bad snowstorm, and when they finally found their bodies, they were all like fucking mangled, but it didn't look like animals had done it. And their clothes were radioactive.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the Donner Party would also be a good like true life story that would make a really creepy anime. So for those who don't know, the Donner Party is something from American history, where there's a bunch of people. It's a bunch of people who are going out west, and they got stuck in this pass, and they were like all their stuff was broken, so they couldn't keep moving. And after a while, they just started eating each other.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. It's pretty creepy, and like I think that would make a good story for like a really creepy anime. I don't know if that answers your question though, because those aren't urban legends. Those are just true stories.
Yeah, man. Come on, you gotta be cryptids. You gotta talk about Bigfoot.
I mean, SCPs. I mean, I think SCP has a lot of great source material that.
Bloody Mary could be cool.
Who?
Bloody Mary.
Oh, Bloody Mary, yeah, that'd be good.
That could be really good.
But again, that's not cryptids.
It's a ghost story,
Define
though.
cryptids.
A cryptid would be like a Bigfoot, Loch Ness, crazy urban like monsters, like urban myth monsters.
I don't know. Like, I'm more into turning like
mean-
true stories into anime, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
The Slender Man is sort of a. It's,
Yeah, but that's kind of
Eh.
been like done to death.
It's been done to death, but it's like, but it can still be done right.
Maybe.
It has potential. I think it has potential. I don't think it's been done weird enough, right?
Yeah, maybe. It certainly hasn't been. As far as I know, I don't think Slenderman has ever appeared in an anime.
Nah, it hasn't.
Good.
What's the closest thing to like that type of horror that there is in anime? Like, because I tell you what, like my favorite, I love the type of shit that's like in Perfect Blue, like that whole like psychology fuckery.
Yeah, like
that
psychological horror.
thriller. Yeah, that's the shit that I love. That's why I enjoy.
Yeah,
Perfect
I
Blue
love.
So much.
I prefer psychological horror over like body or gore, body horror or gore.
Like, I don't need to make it to make sense. I just want it to like come from like something deep inside the human psyche, because it's interesting.
I honestly think, and we've talked about this again on the podcast before, but like I don't think anime is a really great medium for like body horror or gore. I think it's a great medium, however, for psychological horror. I don't know, but there's something about like anime in general that just doesn't do gore very well, in my opinion.
I mean, there's a lot of these like really edgy OVAs from the 80s and 90s where they just go ham on the gore and it looks weird and crazy as fuck. So I think it has potential. Ouch.
Maybe. All right, so
what
that's it for the
Never mind, keep
questions. Let's actually move on to talk about some stuff that we want to talk about. So normally in this point of our WTFs,
you didn't want to talk about everything we've been talking about so far, Alex.
I mean, I'm glad that people gave us the questions. I can't say that I necessarily would have chosen to talk about some of these things, but some of these are interesting questions. I love when people give us questions, though, because...
Thank you for the questions.
Yeah, for sure. But normally in the WTFs that we do, I think some good horrors are... Yes, there is some really good hentai that are very horrific.
Stop.
Boku no Pico. Quite horrific.
Out of here.
So normally in the WTFs, this is the part where I do the simp report. However, I have not simped at all in the last month, so I have absolutely nothing to report.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
No, however, I will be simping for Crony soon. Because,
of course.
Natai, you have to admit, that voice, though.
The voice is doing things to me that I'm not willing to admit.
I don't know what it is about it. Maybe this is just a personal preference for me, but there's something about a woman with a raspy voice that just does it for me. I don't know why I like that so much, but I really do.
Did not ask for any of this.
Her mic setup is godly.
It
That's
is.
all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, she apparently has an ASMR mic set up, right? Because
Yeah,
It sure sounds like it.
I think that's what she used to do. I also have
course,
forbidden
yeah,
knowledge of Crony, and she's cute as fuck.
oh my god.
You would not expect the step on me energy
not
from
expect-
someone who looks like that.
No. Not even
Yikes.
close.
Yikes.
But no, I want to talk about something. So if you've been paying attention to the stuff like on our streams and stuff lately, I'm sick. I'm still sick. I've been sick for almost a month. I still have a cough that
That's why
won't
you're
go
so
away.
sick. You haven't been sipping all month. That's why you've been sick.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't been drinking a lot this month, which is a great shame. But yeah, being sick sucks. And I don't know what it is about me. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a cold, flu, bronchitis, strep throat, sinus infection, whatever. Every time I get sick, no matter what it is, I always get a cough that stays with me even after the sickness itself has passed for like 3 to 4 weeks. And
Wow.
and I don't know if that's just a
God.
quirk. I don't know if that's just a quirk of me and my body or if that happens to other people, but it fucking sucks.
But you didn't like My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Sorry. Keep going.
I hate it here.
And it's funny because apparently, John, myself, and your girlfriend both had the exact same thing wrong with us, and we got sick at the exact same time, despite being on opposite sides of the country.
I'm sick now, so letting you know that.
I know, it's just lending credence to the fact that her and I are actually the same person.
Yeah, my girlfriend's just Alex in a wig.
I don't know, it was weird when she told me she was sick. I was like, wait a minute, what do you have? And she said, sinus infection and a cold. And I'm like, that's exactly what I have. And I said, when did you start feeling sick? And she told me the exact day that I started feeling sick. I'm like, wait a minute, this is not, this, no. You are a gift. You're a gift that keeps on giving germs.
Your gift is giving germs.
You got your boyfriend sick. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, what the heck?
No, I hate being sick. So something else I want to talk about. It's something that someone else brought up in our Discord server. So it is Halloween, right?
Yeah, it's Spooky Oogie season.
It's Spooky Oogie season.
Oogie.
Spooky Oogie Day.
It is the spookiest day of the spookiest month. We share everything. That's what I hear. So I want to ask you guys, what is your favorite Halloween candy? And do you have any good Halloween stories?
No.
I don't really have any good Halloween stories. Like, I feel like I only celebrated Halloween as a kid. My favorite candy used to be Babe Ruths. I would kill people for those. I would probably still kill people for less.
It's my father's favorite candy too.
Yeah, Babe Ruths are really good. Then I had a Snickers phase. I'm really into paydays now, though.
Oh, paydays are awesome, though.
What's payday?
So,
it's just like,
imagine peanuts, right? But
Okay.
surrounded by chewy goodness.
Yeah, so there's like caramel nougat at the center.
Okay.
And then, I mean, that's it. There's caramel nougat at the center. And
Surrounded by peanuts.
Yeah, salted nuts. It's a weird, salty, sweet, like, confectionery. I really like it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the goat, like literally the greatest candy of all time, Reese's peanut butter cups. No,
overrated.
There's no better combination than chocolate and peanut butter. No.
Oh my god.
No, I will not have this. No. I will say one story I do have from back in the day that also involves Halloween candy. When I was growing up, there was a woman in the neighborhood I grew up in every single year that would give out like the full size, like full size Reese's cups, the king size ones, every year. And like she'd have a box full of this stuff that she would give out. So one year I actually got 3 different costumes and went to her house 3 different times to get the Reese's.
Dude.
Wow.
What a piece of shit.
Fuck.
This lady was she probably recognized you each and every time too. You thought you were slick.
Probably. I didn't
like,
question it. I was like 7 years old. I didn't question this shit.
Yeah, I hope to become the house that gives out the big bars of candy one day.
Listen, if you are someone who gives out the big king size candy bars on Halloween, bless you. You are literally too good for this world.
Kids will remember that for like the rest of their life.
Clearly, I'm remembering it. I'm 31 years old.
Yeah. I don't have any stories like that. I don't remember getting any like king size candy bars. I don't have a lot of good Halloween stories at all.
I don't have any.
The one story I always questioned was when I was growing up, and of course this is gonna really date me.
Like every time you date yourself.
Yeah, right.
Like every time you speak, you just date yourself.
We were always told growing up that when we go out for Halloween candy, you know, we always got to have our parents check it because there might be drugs in there. And as I've grown up, I always think to myself, drugs are expensive. Who the fuck is giving them out to kids on Halloween? I want to meet these people.
That's actually all part of the DARE program and basically a bunch of bullshit.
I know,
Like,
but
yeah,
like, think about it. Like, logically, it doesn't make sense. Drugs are expensive, and people make them to sell them. Like, who's gonna give it out for free on Halloween to kids?
yeah, I know.
I think what happened was to get this whole thing started. I know this started with Dare, but I think something actually happened one time where someone just mixed up Halloween candy with like actual drugs.
Oh my god. He doesn't know what dare is. Oh
No, I
god.
don't.
Oh.
What is
This guy
that?
doesn't know what dare is. All right. So first of all, what I think was that I don't think it was just a product of the dare program. I think it was that parents would say that so that way they could have an excuse to root through their kids' candy.
And
the
take what they
parents-
wanted.
Like, as an older brother, I did the older brother tax too. Like, I took my younger siblings to trick or treat, and then I'd take my tax. Like, well, I had to trick or treat with you, so I gotta make sure they're not poisoned. Like, I feel like it's actually a product of that, not actually the Dare program that made people do this. So, Natai, to answer your question, what the Dare program was in the 90s, they had this NARC program called Dare, like, drugs are really bad or some shit. I don't
Yeah,
fucking
so
know.
yeah, it was like they would send an actual police officer to every school, and they'd spend an entire day giving classes. They would tell you all about the drug. Of course, you're like 6 or 7 years old when this happened. It's like you'd never had any thought of drugs, and then they talk about it, it's like, wow, that sounds cool. I got to try this.
Yeah, it was a NARC program started in the 90s, 80s. By police
late
and
80s, early
councilmen
90s.
To narc on your parents. Like, that's the entire program. It's to just, hey kids, if you see your parents doing drugs, let us know, because drugs are bad. Okay, it's a failed war on drugs is what it was.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, they would tell this to kids at an age where they'd never even thought of drugs before, and they made drugs sound so cool.
So rough.
Wouldn't say they made drugs sound cool. They just made everything like, oh man, like, you ever seen that fucking ad? You wouldn't download a car.
That ad, it's so
You
good.
would. The
You
fucking
don't-
IT crowd. The IT crowd fucking.
It's such a good. It's so good.
You wouldn't steal a woman's purse and then shit in it and send it back to her.
One of my
Like,
favorite
yeah, whatever.
videos. One of my favorite videos ever is Nakey Jakey talking about piracy, and he started with like, "You wouldn't download a fucking car now, would you?"
Oh god.
No, you're
Yeah,
right. They
so
don't do
like
Dare
that.
anymore, Classy Ulysses. They realized it was a shitty program. At least someone wants to say, Alex, fuck you.
Yeah, like fuck you, indeed.
There was a house that had some college kids who used to give out full size candy. And yeah, like, bless people that did that. There was a house or two giving money instead of candy. Wow, okay, fucking money bags over here, giving out $10. Giving out $10 bills to kids, Jesus! Wow. Now there was a house in my neighborhood that used to give out rolls of pennies, but it was $1 worth of pennies.
My God, John, what is this map?
It's Corridor.
It's the SCP Foundation.
I hate it.
Yeah, they don't do Dare anymore, as far as I know. It was really a failure of a program.
That's funny.
What do they do in Israel to tell you not to do drugs? Because clearly it didn't work with you.
The IDF
mean,
just shows
clearly.
up and gives you drugs. Do this and we'll fucking kill you.
The
After,
Mossad shows up and shows you a bag of cocaine. And you say, "You see this? We'll fucking kill you and your family if we ever see you with this."
I don't remember anything like super wild about it, except for like some people like they'll bring in people who like talk about like, yeah, just don't do drugs, and I think there was more of a push against cigarettes actually. As far as I can remember, because I remember those like talks more vividly, because they would show you all the really grotesque sort of stuff that it can do to your lungs.
These are
or
what your
teeth or
lungs
whatever.
look like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I know
Yeah,
there's
remember
always
that
always been
more.
a push here in the U.S. for like ever since I can remember to actually put pictures on packages of cigarettes of like cancerous lungs.
Mm-hmm.
And every time they try to get it done, something always happens, and they're like, "No, we're not doing this."
That's not going to deter anyone from smoking, to be honest. Like,
No,
gonna-
not really.
people are going to do stuff because they want to do stuff. Like, you can't just a scary image of blackened lung is. Listen, I had someone come in like in my middle school, right? And they had like a blackened lung, because they put it was pig lungs. So what they did was they took a pig
Oh,
lung and they artificially made it smoke and inhale smoke, like packs and packs of cigarette to
Poor pig.
simulate
what the fuck?
what it. Yeah.
Is that
So,
legal?
dude, in the U.S. it's crazy. Like the education system and the programs that they run, it's nuts.
That's so
So,
fucked up. Okay.
yeah. So what they did was they. Oh, hey, Natai.
Hi.
So what they did was there was this program where these people went around and they had a blackened pig lung, and what they did was they pumped it full of like however many years, like 10 or 15 years worth of damage to your lungs into pig lungs, so that way you could actually see this is legit what would happen if you smoked for 10 years to lungs, right? And it was gross as shit. It smelled so terrible because they had what's that fucking thing that they use for embalming fluid, duh.
What do they use
Yeah,
for embalming fluid? Oh, what embalming fluid?
What did they use for embalming fluid?
It's almost
But,
like the English
yeah.
language has these tricks you can use, John.
What is it in English, Alex?
This fluid that you use for embalming. You mean embalming fluid? Yeah, that thing. But yeah, so it smelled like embalming fluid, so it smelled nasty, but it was super gross to look at, and I still think about it. Like, here I am, fucking 20 years later, thinking about. Yeah, I still remember what it looked like. Guess who smoked for 10 years? Me.
Oh shit! Wait, you did?
It did a really good job,
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
it, John?
Actually, I think I started smoking when I was 17, and when did I stop smoking? I started vaping at some point instead for like, let's see, 2017. Okay, I smoked for like 7 years and I vaped for like 2 years. But point is, I still did it, and I still remember that. And if people are gonna smoke, if people are gonna drink, just like when people want to do drugs, they're gonna do it, man. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how much you try to prevent them from doing it. If people want to do it, they're gonna do it. Obviously, we shouldn't just leave needles with heroin laying around so people can just shoot up whatever. But
Please tell the
if
people in Florida that, John.
well, people, it's Florida, dude. There's a lot.
There's only so
Florida's
much you
a
can be
lot.
expected to do.
Yeah.
To be honest, I
It's
haven't
a-
tried drugs. Well, classy, this is don't do drugs.
Well, do drugs if you want. I don't care. I'm not your mom. I'm not your
Fuck
dad.
you on.
Yeah, like, listen, people are gonna do what they want, and sometimes you need to make bad choices in life to kind of just start making better choices.
Especially in Kissimmee, you are absolutely right. I was in Kissimmee 2 days ago, and it was an experience.
Yeah, that whole topic is kind of weird because, like, obviously, some things are not good for you, but if you're just gonna go ham on people, like, oh, don't do that, obviously, it's not gonna deter anyone.
It's like that thing. People always want to do what they're told not to, right?
Pretty much. Did you chuck a grenade at yourself there?
He did.
Nice.
I meant to hit the melee button.
Scrub.
All right, so the last thing I want to talk about is actually anime related. So it was recently announced that Disney kind of wants to start licensing anime, and I think it was met with a collective boo. Boo, this is bad.
Boo. Well, like,
I mean,
boo.
do you want the
Boo
biggest
biz-
media conglomerate on the planet to own even more of it?
Yeah, right.
Well, listen, look what they did to Star Wars. I'm told what they did to Star Wars, unacceptable. They literally were Hitler or something. I don't know, man. I'm making shit up, honestly speaking. I don't understand what's so bad about Disney owning stuff, but that's why. Because Disney bad.
Disney bad. Talk
Disney
about
bad,
Natai's farm
obviously.
escapades. I'm sure we will. Bad.
You had the entire yesterday stream for that.
Yeah. Disney bad.
I hate you so
Hate it.
much.
Yeah,
Is-
like I don't know. See, the thing is, like, we're already at a point where I think we have too many streaming services licensing anime. Like, we have Crunchyroll and Funimation, which are now one company, which we still don't know exactly how that's going to play out just yet. We're still kind of waiting on that. We have High Dive. We have Netflix. We have Amazon, which is sort of licensing anime still, kinda.
Remember Anime Strike?
Yeah, I'd like to forget that.
That was funny.
What else do we got? I
that-
mean, obviously we're gonna have Disney
fuck is
Plus
an-
now, so that's six different streaming services just that say they want to license
Wait,
anime.
What's Anime Strike? Is that
You
the
don't
that?
remember?
That's the one that Amazon had for a while that was behind the double paywall.
Oh, the double paywall. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was so much
Okay.
fun.
Yeah, that was a shit show right from the start. Wow, double kill.
Thanks, John.
So yeah, I think it was just met with a collective boo, and I kind of just agree. Like, I think Disney Plus is an okay streaming platform, more or less, but it's just another streaming platform that you got to sign up for to get anime.
Yeah.
I'll never forgive Disney for The Last Jedi. You and me both, pal.
Oh, I'm going.
The
I'm
worst
going now.
movie ever made.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't want to get into
Yeah.
Star Wars. Everyone
See,
has a fucking
exactly.
opinion about it. Like, who
That's the thing about
cares?
Star Wars, John. It's like it was fun. Like I had fun and just enjoying it. And now every time I talk about Star Wars, this is what I get. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, like I'm told constantly that there's this and that about this Star Wars. Oh, I can't believe they did this and that. I'm just like, why can't I just enjoy watching stuff, man? Come on.
Jax made me not want to talk about about this Star Wars.
I mean, I don't want to talk about me either, to be honest. Next is going to be the WWE Network. Yeah, the WWE licensing anime. That'll be next.
Oh, that'll be so funny.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
All right. I mean, Vince McMahon is an anime character. Let's be honest.
See, people keep saying that it's going to be Disney making Disney-ish anime. I don't necessarily think they're looking to make anime. They just want to license anime for their streaming platform. Which, I mean, if they're just going to license it, I mean, fair enough, whatever. It's just another streaming platform you're going to have to sign up for if you want to see the most amount of anime every season.
Yar.
That's my problem. Maybe Disney can learn some storytelling from WWE. I mean, I think you'd rather have them learn from AEW, from what I hear.
AW is great. They're doing.
Oh,
great
from
stuff.
anime, yeah. The WWE could learn a thing or two about storytelling from anime for sure. HBO
Wait,
Max
is
should
it,
get some license. HBO Max, from what I understand, does license the Ghibli films. Do they not?
I mean, they are also
I
on
thought-
Netflix,
see,
right?
I thought that Disney licensed the Ghibli films, and that's
I know
like,
Disney
when I
distributes
thought
the
they were-
Ghibli films, but I don't know if they licensed all of them for their streaming platform.
I can't believe that's your entire strategy, John. God damn it.
Gotta use your radar, bro. To be honest, it's because I hate going through these corridors. I don't know why I
I
fucking
hate
chose
this map. Why would you pick this?
Bring back 4Kids dubs, please. Yes,
I will. Who said that? Murder
your
them.
girlfriend.
Murder
Random
her.
right now.
There was a lost art to 4Kids dubs. There really was. It was a special kind of hell. It really was.
I love looking at how they like the onigiri that fell down the hill, right, in Pokemon. How they changed that to be like a donut or something.
Yeah, a jelly-filled donut.
Yeah. And then like eating sandwiches instead of onigiri. Like, that's so innocuous. Like, I never would have fucking noticed.
The thing that always
actually,
got
like,
me
being a
was
thing.
in the original like localizations. And this isn't 4Kids, but the original localizations for the Ace Attorney video games, they
They
retconned or
changed
whatever
ramen to burger,
to
yeah.
burgers, and they're clearly eating ramen out of a fucking bowl.
Yeah.
Please tell me you have a link of that. I'd love to see
I mean,
that.
I probably can find one. I don't have one handy, but I can show you after we're done here. But yeah, like that always just befuddled me greatly because like they're clearly eating ramen out of a bowl with chopsticks, mind you. And they're like, yeah, these burgers are tasty.
Yeah, localization stuff is super weird.
I do love how in the
My
in
God.
the English dub for the Ace Attorney anime that aired a couple years ago, they actually put an in joke with that in there. Like they they called it what was it? What was the phrase they used? Burger miso. The burger miso. When they were eating the ramen at the ramen shop. It's like
Burger miso?
this burger miso is really tasty. I don't know, like cheeseburger flavored miso ramen, which actually does kind of sound pretty tasty.
No, ew, what the fuck, dude? I don't think.
Maybe you could wipe Natai in Halo, but try stepping up to him in Code Simulator.
What was that?
Says maybe you can wipe Natai in Halo, but try stepping up to him on Goat Simulator.
Oh, I hate this so much. Why am I even bothering showing up for these streams anymore?
But anyway, yeah, I wanted to bring up the fact that
okay.
I wanted to bring up the fact that Disney wanted to license anime, and I
joke.
just think it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I feel not.
Like, I don't know if it's a
strongly
terrible
about it.
idea. It's just like depressing because like, oh hooray,
Okay,
another
so
licensor of
my
anime.
entire
Okay.
deal here is that if they license anime, are they gonna actually pay their animators, like the people who make
Nah.
it?
No.
Probably not. So like, it's overall, it's probably a net bad thing. But then it's like, well, because Disney owns it, they'd probably push it more successfully on their platform. There's a lot
Really,
more
though?
nuance to it, you know.
Yeah.
Overall, though,
Shows do
yeah.
think but will they pick like? What type of shows will they pick though? Because it is Disney. So how much of like an anime sensibilities will these shows?
I will say
have, I
that
guess?
one thing we very rarely talk about on the podcast is there is a fair amount every season of anime aimed squarely at kids that comes out, and very few streaming services outside of Japan pick them up to license them. And maybe if Disney does that, then maybe it will be a good thing because there'll be more of this anime that's actually aimed at kids that gets put out in the West.
Well, like Disney XD, I think it's XD, Disney Junior, whatever Disney's premier show into kids. They already do Yokai Watch, like a lot. Yokai Watch is pretty fucking popular.
Yeah.
So I feel like the success of Yokai Watch is probably what drove them to be like, maybe we can make even more money.
Yeah. But I think if they do stuff like that, I mean, more power to them, I guess, because it's this anime that very rarely gets licensed outside of Japan that's finally getting licensed and seen. So, I mean, I guess that's whatever. I mean, I'm not going to go out and search out anime aimed at, like, 5-year-olds, but I'm sure there's a market for it.
I was fucking like, when is Natai gonna come through so I can burn him?
So Natai's having a bad time, yeah.
I hate it here. I fucking hate it here.
Put Doraemon on Disney Plus, cowards. I mean, Doraemon it seems like it'd be kind of at home on Disney Plus.
Yeah, but then it's because that is one of those kid shows. Like, he's got a gadget for that.
Yeah. Disney Attack on Titan. Aaron is the Titan. Mikasa's the princess. No gore, more romance.
I hate it. I regret.
See, like you'll never see something like Kill la Kill on Disney Plus, and that's fine. Like I have
Yeah,
no gripe
like
with that.
I feel like that would not obviously. They shouldn't be licensing any anime and just throwing it on their platform, but.
Although it
know,
would be
man.
pretty funny.
I think
Yeah,
if they have
between
a hard time
Yokai
convincing,
Watch and Star Wars Visions, Disney saw dollar signs. I probably.
Yeah.
Do we know how successful Star Wars Visions was?
I mean, I don't think it's been out long enough to really determine it. I mean, it hasn't even been out a full month at this point, I don't think.
Feels like it has.
Or maybe it's just at a month. I don't know. It's just, I think it's a little too early to tell. I feel like 'cause a lot of people were talking about it, so I feel like it did relatively well. I don't know. I guess it depends on what Disney thinks is good. I don't know what Disney would consider good numbers. But anyway,
making profit hand over fist.
Yeah. Well, they're making
good
profit
numbers.
with Disney Plus. I can tell you that. What about Cory in the House? Cory in the House should be Cory in the House is an anime masterpiece. What are you talking about?
Oh, what a bad meme.
All right. So moving on, John, you got to go see Dune. How was it?
Yo, the new Dune was fucking lit. Yeah.
Really?
Don't get me wrong. I'm actually a fan of the original Dune, right?
You mean the one from the 80s?
because- Yeah, the old one that's super
wow.
terrible that people who read the book hate.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. Old Dune, what it did right was amazing. What wasn't amazing about old Dune movie? The story, because they wrapped up the entire book in a movie. Like, it was supposed to be, originally, it was supposed to be, David Lynch wanted it to be a 3-hour film, and then they cut it to like 2 hours. So, you think about it like that. Like, it originally was supposed to be 3 hours, and it covers an entire book, and then they cut it down to like 2 hours. Of course, it's gonna be fucking terrible. The plot made no sense. But you know what was really cool? the fight scenes, the epic scenes. You know, like again, old Dune, what it does well, it does excellent, and it became a cult classic for a reason. It did super piss poor at box office. New Dune, it's like 2.5 hours, and
Ooh.
it covers like the first act of the book.
It covers
And
the
it's-
first like roughly third of the novel, from what the original novel, from what I understand.
That's a-
Yeah,
That's
because
Ooh.
Villeneuve, I don't
Villeneuve.
know, Villeneuve, the director wants to do it in 3 parts. I'm not sure if he's gonna get 3 parts, but part 2 was greenlit. So
Yeah, it's very
have
recently
that.
been
That
confirmed.
did the Blade Runner sequel?
yeah,
Right?
Blade Runner 2049.
Yes, he is same director. Yes.
Huh.
So he's not a bad director at all. Like, I'm looking forward to Dune Part 2 quite a lot, and Dune Part 1 was slow at the very beginning, but it's a lot of setup, and there are a lot of unexplained things that you don't understand. But as a fan of the series, if you know what's happening, like it's cool to see it happen in theater. Like that's kind of one of Dune's weaknesses. Like it's kind of a movie made for the people who read the books, or at least know what. Like I've seen the original Dune. As a standalone, it's pretty boring for the first 30 minutes. You might check out, but after that,
Is it boring or is it slow?
It's
it's
very
boring and
slowly
slow.
paced, from what I hear. The first like half hour or so.
I'm ready.
yeah. But again, that's because there's a lot that you need to know about. There's a lot of setup before everything happens, man. Come on. It's not all
Makes
just
sense.
action. You don't walk
Yeah, that
into
makes
Dune
sense.
expecting like again, if your only exposure to Dune was the original Dune and you never read the books, you're going to be pretty disappointed with the movie because you'll be like, "Oh, there was not that many action sequences." And it's like, "Yeah, it's true. There aren't a lot of action sequences in Dune."
Crazy,
Nice.
I know. Thank you.
But I will say that I haven't seen it yet. I'm planning on seeing it
looking forward
sometime
to
next
watching it.
week.
Tell me how you guys like it
Because
because
I've read the books, and I am a fucking fanatic of the Dune books. I'd love to see a Dune anime at some point because I think like anime would be a perfect medium for Dune. But all
right,
I
so
wanted
I'm gonna regret saying this, right?
Oh.
But if Dune got an anime, I would definitely think Trigger would be a great studio to make the anime.
Oh, me too, though. Me too.
I know. I hate Trigger. I hate saying that. I hate the fact that I thought, you know who would be a great studio for Dune? Friggin' Trigger. I hate that. I fucking hate that idea. But
Yeah.
because of how Dune the story goes and stuff, I definitely think they would be a great.
Wow.
I'm sorry. What the?
Nice.
Oh my god.
No, you're right
was
though,
unexpected.
John. Like Trigger, I think would be a great studio to handle a Dune anime adaptation. But when this movie was first announced, my only thought as a fan of the Dune novels was please be good. I don't just please.
Yeah, everyone was thinking that because it's been like what 40 years since the last iteration, and the original movie was bad by source material standards. They changed a lot of stuff to make it fit to the big screen. Again, a 3-hour run cut down to 2.
Yeah.
There's a lot wrong with it.
Yeah.
Is that Unitai? What is?
What are you talking about? Oh, hi.
So I do want to ask you, John, since you have seen it. Is the soundtrack as god tier as everyone is saying?
I honestly, Hans Zimmer does a fantastic job.
The GOAT.
However, I would say that it's not his best work. It is
Really?
good. I like the soundtrack. It is good. It's classic Hans Zimmer. However, if we're talking like scoring and like, I prefer scoring in other like in Interstellar. I liked it more. It was a lot more
Interstellar was
epic.
Good.
Yeah.
I say that because a lot of people are praising the score for it, and that Hans Zimmer himself has said that his lifelong dream has been to score a Dune movie, and
Oh,
he
I didn't
finally
know
got
that.
to accomplish his
That's
goal.
That's so nice. He's composing something he's invested in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's good, but I like the scoring for Interstellar more because it's more.
Interstellar was wild.
Yeah.
That was a weird movie.
But Hans Zimmer is apparently coming back to score part 2, so the GOAT is back. Hopefully we'll get more great music from him as well for that. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Like I said, I'm planning on seeing it sometime next week. And it just looks fantastic from everything that I've seen. Like, just the cinematography just looks beautiful.
I'm really looking forward to watching it as well. I haven't read the novel, especially I'm really looking forward to going in as blind as possible to the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to watch it.
The cinematography in Dune is beautiful. Best way to watch Dune is in theaters. It seems like something you'd want to watch in theaters just based on how it looks. A lot of explaining and lots of build. Yeah, again, people are saying that it's a lot of exposition and stuff. Like, it's the first third of the book, so I mean, don't expect
makes sense
wonders going. When is the 8-hour trippy animated Dune movie from the 60s? God, imagine Dune just on drugs. That'd be fucking awesome, probably.
Dude. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh shit, there you are.
Yeah. I'm just happy that number one, that it seems like it was good enough to get a sequel, and that we are getting a sequel, and we're finally gonna get what looks to be a proper theatrical presentation of Dune.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, it's good. Just go watch it, guys. Just go watch Dune in theaters.
Go support a good movie.
I was really concerned because I saw online that I think it only made $40 million its opening weekend, and I'm thinking, oh god.
Domestic?
Yeah, domestically.
Oh, international already. It made like 120 out of the 160 budget. So
yeah, but I'm looking at it domestically because obviously the domestic numbers come out first, and I was thinking to myself, oh no.
Oh, but then, so the international market already is basically made up for itself, and you got to think about, look at the timing. It's COVID's still going on, and
yeah,
we have a lot of other problems. And I don't know. I know that Dune is also on HBO Max, so you can watch it on there.
Yeah, they have it on there for 2 weeks, I think.
I'm not sure if they count the HBO Max towards the
I wouldn't think
revenue.
they do, but maybe they do.
I'm not entirely sure how they're breaking up the revenue.
I just saw that it in its opening weekend domestically, it said it made $40 million, and that was before the international numbers came out. And I just thought to myself, "Oh no, oh no, this is not good."
I think because of word of mouth and stuff, I think it'll definitely do a lot more, a lot better. It'll definitely get a lot more popular.
I hope. I do hope that this ends up becoming a trilogy, because I feel like as a trilogy you could tell the story properly. I hope it's not just two movies, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Again, he wants it to be a trilogy, and I hope it's a trilogy. So
yeah, Dune was supposed.
I know
a
lot of people will think it's too long of a movie. To them, I say fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck the naysayers.
Dune was supposed to be. I think you're trying to say that Dune was supposed to come out a couple of months ago. It was originally supposed to come out last year, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
But this thing called COVID happened. Kind of fucked everyone's plans up. So John, do you want to talk about the unspecified virus from an unspecified location? So John, you want to talk about horror movies?
I mean, we kind of covered it a little bit with the whole Uzumaki and whatnot, but I was thinking about, because it's Halloween, it's spooky day.
It is.
So I was thinking about, what is a good horror movie I should watch this year? I've seen all the classics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Scream, and oh my god, they're making a new Scream, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I saw a trailer for that in theaters, and it's is it a copycat? Is it a ghost? I remember the original killer in Scream, and I was like, wait, what? Is it because of Dead by Daylight, his glow up in Dead by Daylight, Scream is becoming a thing again? I don't understand. But
wait, there's an actual story behind the Scream killer?
Kind of, not really.
Dune is going to be on HBO Max for 1 month and has so far got 1.9 million views. Okay. If that's true, then that actually sounds really good.
I have no doubts in my mind that Dune is going to do well, because like I said, the theatrical release was very epic. and I hope it ends up being an epic trilogy.
Mm.
Fuck yeah.
But
Anyway, horror
yeah,
movies.
so yeah, so I was thinking about what horror movie should I watch. My coworker, she was asking me like, "Oh, we should watch a horror movie. What should we watch? What do you recommend?" Because I love horror stuff. I love horror movies,
Mhm.
spooky ooky ghosts and whatnot. I don't know what is my obsession with horror. I just really like it.
Show loves
But
horror too.
yeah, so she was asking me what should we watch for Halloween, and I was like, oh shit, I don't really have any good recommendations because new stuff is pretty bad. Like I can recommend all the classics, but other than classics, like if you've never seen Nightmare on Elm Street, you need to watch it. If you've never seen Friday the
I was
13th,
about
you
to
need to
say,
watch it.
if you're like you haven't watched almost any horror movies, you're looking for something to get into it, what would you
Yeah,
recommend?
so it would depend on what you're feeling. Like I think Midsummer was a really good film. I also thought Hereditary was a really good film as well. I really like that one, and those are new. So those are what I would
It's
recommend
the
if you.
same director, right? Or...
Yes.
Hmm.
So I'd recommend getting into those if you wanted to get into like horror, but it's new horror, so it's like good sound effect, good sound design, stuff like that. Because a lot of the old horror is really, as much as I like it, like Ju-on, The Grudge Part One, or The Grudge, the first one. That's the American name, but in Japanese it's called
Ring.
Ju-on. Yeah, no, The Ring is different.
Oh, never mind.
You get out of here. The Ring was
Yep.
shot here in Washington, actually. But yeah, so for Ju-on, um, it's very old. It's like early 2000s, I want to say, and traditionally it's nothing like American horror. American horror I don't like a lot because there's a lot of sound cues and it's really visceral, and that's the scary thing about American horror. It's visceral. Like I like constant creep and like I where's the ghost? You don't know where the ghost is, you know? Like I don't like jump scares too much cuz jump scares are cheap. Like I'm trying to remember, there's that stupid one where it's like they clap and there's like a it's clapping. It's about clapping or something. It was really stupid. I
What?
hated it. Yeah,
You say
it's like a
clapping or clacking?
clapping.
Oh,
So
clapping.
like it's about this family that moves into this house that's haunted, and when they play hide and go seek, they hide and go clap, and the ghost claps back, and that's in the trailer, and that's like the scariest moment. But that one has a jump scare at the very like at the in the basement. Like I called it 100%, and I hated it because I knew it was gonna come. And just American horror in general has like it's very formulaic,
Mm.
and that's why I don't like it. Ju-on, the original Grudge, is not formulaic, not American formulaic, so it's great.
Mm.
There is not a scoring where you hear like the thrilling violins playing, so then you know something scary is supposed to happen. And there's just a lot of silence, and just creepy shit happens in the background. And when you rewatch it, you find more creepy shit that you didn't fucking notice. Like, holy fuck, that thing moved in the background. Didn't even know. Like, that's what I like about it. Oh god. Ah, the tie, no.
Oh, I found you,
Ah.
bitch.
Nice. Fair enough. I mean, I won't say I'm a huge fan of horror. I like psychological horror, but so few people make any kind of good psychological horror these days anyway. Like it's all based on, like John said, it's very formulaic. It's all based on things like jump scares, and uh, it, it's not scary because, like, yeah, you can kind of jump from a jump scare, like, which is what you're supposed to do, but it doesn't, when the movie's over, you don't remember the jump scares, like,
Yeah,
but with
jump scares
psychological
aren't
horror you remember that creepy factor.
jump scares aren't scary because they're scary.
Just
They're
loud and annoying and obnoxious, yeah.
yeah,
There's
they
nothing clever
like
about it.
if anyone comes up to me when I'm not expecting it and screams in my ear, I'm gonna fucking jump.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it is to be human.
Yeah, but I don't think
What?
anyone would not jump with something like that, but it just doesn't. And so much American horror these days is based around that, and it's like it's been done to death. Give me something else.
Yeah, which is why again I like Midsommar and Hereditary because it doesn't have stuff like that. It
Mm.
has some elements of it, sure, but like again, it's about the creep. You know how
Yeah.
if I feel like there's something over my shoulder the entire time I'm fucking watching something and the hairs on the back of my neck are raised the entire time, you're doing a good fucking job at making me scared.
For sure. For sure.
Like having that type of dread. Oh my god, nice snipe.
Nice.
Thank you.
Having that type of dread just follow you throughout the entire film is what I'm looking for. And it's hard to think of a lot of movies that do that to me. Like again, obviously there's Ju-on, The Grudge, and Hereditary, Midsommar, but other than that, like the other classic, like the only stuff that I would consider classic horror, they're only good for certain aspects. Nightmare on Elm Street, I really liked Freddy Krueger's design, like the whole, like he gets you in your dreams and like it's fucking bloody and visceral, right? Like that's one of the reasons that it actually does really well because it's so. There's that where he I think it's Johnny Depp that lays in the bed that gets like it turns into a blender.
Yeah.
And then, like blood shoots up. Yeah, dude, it's nuts. It's like I don't normally like gore stuff, but that Nightmare on Elm Street because it's supposed to be in dreams, so like the crazy death scene and stuff are even like it's cranked up to 11, and that's kind of the appeal. But comparatively, Event Horizon's a really good one that I liked, but
Event Horizon is like that's like a lost treasure, I think, though. Like people never talk about that, but it's so good.
Well, because Event Horizon, the weakest point of it would be the fact that there's no big bad monster, right? Like a lot of horror films do well because they have some big bad monster or some crazy story about ghosts. Like there's a gimmick to it. There's a reason why people still like. What's that fucking? Oh my god, I don't remember what the fucking over-the-shoulder found footage was.
Blair Witch Project.
Not Blair Witch, but yes, Blair Witch was very popular because it was found footage. It was like I think it was the first one that did found footage horror.
It was like, if it wasn't the first, it was certainly one of the first. It was the first big one, that's for sure. I remember when Blair Witch came out and like that thing was huge. Yeah.
Like prior to this, the best horror movie would have been The Exorcist, right? The Exorcist was something that people when they saw it in the fucking 50s and in theaters, they were like shit their pants. Yeah, everyone was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe!" And I watched the original Exorcist, and it is pretty creepy. Like it's crazy, like the whole fucking the throw up scene with the in the bed and the head twisting. Like it's got some crazy moments in it, and
all practical effects would still look pretty good today.
Yeah, that's why it looked great because it was all practical effects, and it's scary because no one captured demon like possession so well. Like that's kind of the go-to for like when a demon possession happens. Everyone thinks of this. Everyone's gonna base it off of this. This is something that scared people. Like, scared your parents, scared your grandparents. So there's that. But prior to that, there's not really a lot I could say that a lot of these movies can get right anymore.
Any John Carpenter movie? Okay, John Carpenter did have some good, like The Thing.
I love the original John Carpenter's The Thing. John Carpenter is a great film director.
They Live.
I agree. Yeah. But what makes these good though is the rememberable things. Like in It, you know what made me remember It? The fucking It monster. You know when it attacks him and the base and thing comes out. You know. Like that, the animatronic for that scared the shit out of me. I still remember it vividly. I love that, right? Yeah. And for other instances, there's either a crazy monster like Aliens, you could argue is a horror film. Predator 1, you could argue is a horror film. I don't really think it is.
Aliens is really good though.
Yeah, Aliens is really good because Sigourney Weaver is a great actress.
You're gonna be mad at me. You're gonna be super mad at me.
You've never seen Aliens, have you?
Not yet.
Wow. Oh my god, dude. But what made Aliens really good, other than the fact that Sigourney Weaver was a great actor for Ridley,
was the puppeteering for the alien, right?
Yeah, the fact that the xenomorph like costume, the suit was so crazy good. Like it was so realistic looking, and the fact that it moved how it did, it felt great. And these movies have something memorable. So then you get into this whole bucket of like American formulaic horror where it's like, what's memorable about it? It's about a demon, ghost, whatever, haunted, something. There's nothing really memorable about it. It's all kind of just blah. It all blends together. And there's not much I could really recommend. Like, I guess Pet Cemetery is a really good one because dead pets coming back to life. But that's like the trope of ancient Indian burial grounds.
A Stephen King novel, by the way.
Yeah, Pet Cemetery. But what's the other one? Poltergeist.
Poltergeist
is a
They're
classic.
here.
Yeah, and why is Poltergeist good? It's not, honestly speaking, Poltergeist isn't that great. The effects are cheesy, and the only thing scary about Poltergeist is I would say the dead bodies at the is it at the end?
It's near
They have
the
like
end.
actual like skeletons and stuff that they use, and there's a whole bunch of cursed lore to go with Poltergeist, but that's the scariest part. Like when the house is like lifted up and doing all that crazy shit. And I do remember watching the Poltergeist remake, which I did not like, unsurprisingly, because I don't know, I'm a practical effects guy. That's why. I'm biased.
I like how
That's
people
always,
are
like,
just
so much
naming
fun.
horror movies in the chat now. Speaking of Event Horizon, In the Mouth of Madness. In the Mouth of Madness is good. Evil Dead. I
Good-ass
love
name.
Evil Dead, but I can't say that I think it's a good horror movie. I view it as
Evil Dead is not a horror movie.
it's a horror
fucking
comedy.
hilarious movie. I like Evil Dead.
Maybe, right?
Shop
Wasn't that?
shop smart, shop smart.
Yeah, like there's not a lot that I would say. I could definitely make a top like 25 list, and those would be my go-to horror movies for the rest of my life.
Cannibal Holocaust is the first lost footage. Okay, yeah, I thought so, but I wasn't 100% sure. And that came out in like the late 70s, early 80s, if I remember correct. But it had a lot of controversy behind it too, because I think they were actually like legitimately abusing animals in the making of the movie.
Shit.
So, Cabin in the Woods, Creep Show, Trick or Treat. Fuck off with The Mist. The Mist sucks.
Oh,
I
yeah,
hate The Mist.
Sucks. But
What's so bad about it?
I one thing I love about The Mist, however, is that the guy who created Attack on Titan, what's his name, Isayama,
It's
said that he really wanted Attack on Titan to originally end the same way The Mist did.
shut up.
And I'm thinking, yeah, I guess if you take
did
your
that
cues
pretty
from
well.
shitty writing, you're gonna be a shitty writer.
You did that pretty well, to be honest. As much as I don't hate to say that, everyone knows my opinion on Attack on Titan. I hated it. I hated how it ended.
The Void
I'm
is
not,
a movie
like-
I have never actually seen. But I don't know. People have told me, I've heard mixed things about it. Some people say it's good. People say it's bad.
What movie?
The Void.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I don't know what that is. But yeah, Cabin in the Woods is great because these aren't purely horror films, though. These aren't ones that you watch that scare you. You watch Cabin in the Woods because you've seen so much horror that it's funny and refreshing that they're making fun of horror tropes.
And like I watch They Live not because I think it's creepy. I watch it because it's fun watching Roddy Piper and Keith David fight.
What
Yeah.
was so good about Cabin in the Woods? Because, like, again, I haven't watched it, but I remember people talking about, oh, it's a good horror movie that is not necessarily a horror movie.
So
Right?
see that's my problem with it. Cabin in the Woods is not a horror movie. It's a satirical horror movie. It's making fun of horror movies. It has all the single tropes of a horror movie, and that's the entire point of it. It's making fun of horror movies because it's so formulaic. That's the entire reason why we have Cabin in the Woods and how it like I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but
It's
if
a
you've
satire.
watched-
It's essentially, I view it as a satire of horror movies.
yeah, it shows you how formulaic horror movies have become, because that's the entire point of what they do and like the type of monsters and stuff that they're using.
Mm.
Like, it's hilarious. But if you're not a horror fan, I don't think you would like Cabin in the Woods because you wouldn't get a bunch of the jokes.
I'm not opposed to horror, just haven't watched a whole lot of it that like grabbed me, right? Like I want a good horror movie to watch. Something.
John, since you're a practical effects person, you might like it, and it's Lovecraft inspired. I'm assuming you're talking about The Void.
I mean, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, it's something I've never seen either, and I give anything a shot. All right, well, let's move on because I only got about 30 minutes before I got to get out of here.
Okay,
Natai, don't give Alec Baldwin a
Yes.
gun.
Oh my god.
All right, so like, I don't feel qualified enough to talk about this, but I feel like all of us want to talk about it. So like,
It's wild though. This whole story
it's
about Alec
insane.
Baldwin and the prop gun is so fucking wild.
It's beyond insanity for me that this actually happened.
Yeah.
So what was the story? So they were filming this movie called Rust, right?
Yeah, so
And
let's do a little bit of backstory here. So there's this movie being filmed called Rust. Apparently, it's a Western that Alec Baldwin is not only acting in, but he is also one of the producers on this movie.
right.
And from what I have been able to determine, the entire like shooting of this movie has been a nightmare from beginning to end.
Right.
It's being shot largely on location, so they're constantly having to ship people and equipment out onto these locations that they're shooting at. For some reason, and I haven't been able to determine exactly why, they haven't been allowing the crew to, like, because usually when you do shoots that are largely on locations, you usually bring a lot of trailers and stuff with you so your crew can, like, stay near the shoot site. That way they're not having to drive hours out of their way to get to wherever you're shooting this movie, or at least, pay for them to stay at a hotel near where you're shooting the movie. From what I've been able to determine, they haven't been doing that for this movie. So the crew's been forced to drive 50 plus miles for some of them out to this movie shoot every single day.
God. I thought it was like 20 miles. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty far, but it's not too bad.
I mean, some of them are probably closer than others, but I've heard that some people are having to drive upwards of 70 miles out to this shoot every single day.
Why?
But anyway, you're falling.
I hate this map.
So this movie shoot sounds like it's absolute hell for everyone involved.
And like, there's just so many things wrong about the situation. Like, the more we learn about it, the more
fucked up this is. So
this is even like the thing that sparked this whole discussion around this movie, right?
No. So what happened? What at least what's been said so far, and of course this is still an evolving story. Things could change after this comes out. So I mean. If you're watching this after the fact, go do your own research and see if anything else has come out about it.
What happened? So Alec Baldwin was handed like a gun.
Well, no, before that even happened. So the crew that they had hired, the actual like licensed, bonded, and unionized crew, had been bringing up multiple times the shoot is unsafe. We need to like take a break. We need to step back and like evaluate how we're doing this and maybe change a few things. Maybe change some personnel around. And the producers on this movie, again, which Alec Baldwin is a producer on this movie. I don't know exactly how much input he had on this decision. We're constantly pushing them forward. Like, no, we got to keep doing this. We got to keep doing this. We got to get this movie done. And so eventually the crew got tired of it and just they went on strike and they just walked off. And so instead of doing the mature, responsible thing and saying, well, maybe we need to actually do something about this and, change what we're doing and get the people back. No, they just went and hired a bunch of non-unionized, non-licensed prop workers and cast behind the scenes to keep making the shoot go on. And so what set all this off was Alec Baldwin was allegedly handed a gun. He was told that it was a cold gun, which means that it's not supposed to be loaded. And on movie shoots, you're supposed to be using non-live ammunition, so prop ammunition.
Prop ammunition, yeah.
Blanks. And not only was the ammunition there was ammunition in the gun, it was also live, like real ammunition that was in this gun.
Did you just say that like they were practicing like target?
Yeah, so that's something that came out after the fact. But what ended up happening was, I guess for a scene in this movie, Alec Baldwin's character that he's playing is supposed to be aiming the gun towards where the camera is and firing into the camera. It's for a shot, right? Well, obviously not knowing that it was an actual live gun, he pulls the trigger and shoots and kills the director.
Director of photography.
Or not the director, the
cameraman.
The cameraman, yes, excuse me. The director also got hit, but I think they were like just injured. Severe injury, but still not killed.
Yeah. So
So now someone is dead because of this fucking just stupid
Absolute
shit that's happening over there.
clusterfuck.
yeah,
Absolute.
the first
clusterfuck.
thing I thought of, unfortunately, when I first heard of like there was a shooting on set, I was like Brandon Lee, right, on the set of The Crow.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
that like it was yesterday because my dad is a huge Bruce Lee fan, so I know everything about like this stuff.
What was that movie? The Crow, right?
Yeah, The Crow.
Ugh.
So everyone and their mother has talked about this Alec Baldwin thing, like
Cinematographer,
death, right?
yes, that's who got killed. The cinematographer.
Yes. So for people who don't know, it's really hard to make a realistic gun that's not an actual gun.
Yeah.
You know what's a lot cheaper and easier to do? Use a real gun.
With blanks.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the reasons why why are they using real guns that can fire real guns, like real bullets? Why don't they use a dummy gun? It's like cuz dummy guns look stupid. They don't look like real guns. Like they won't fire the same. If you put a blank into a gun and you shoot, it looks exactly like a real fucking gun because it is a real fucking gun that shoots bullets. So that in and of itself is kind of just like a terrible thing. You know, it's indicative of the nature of shooting movies. Movies are very expensive to shoot. They're very expensive to produce.
Mm-hmm.
It's just much cheaper to buy blanks and fucking use a real gun.
Blanks can still kill though. Like
and
at point
so
blank
stupid
range, a blank can still kill.
Yeah, but that's
why
more
was
about
it handled by
gas and
professionals?
stuff.
Well, it's so stupid.
I mean, there were
But,
several. There sounds like there were several points of failure in all of this. Number one, he was handed a gun, told it was a cold gun, meaning not loaded, and it was clearly loaded.
Well, cold gun means it's not lethal. Like,
yeah. I mean, well, not loaded would you'd assume not loaded would be not lethal, but
yeah.
It's so wild to me because like everything that could have gone wrong in this instance went wrong. Like it's Murphy's Law. Like it literally is.
What gets me about this whole story is that it's so unnecessary. It's like just unnecessary. Like this didn't need to happen at all. It's so silly.
Oh yeah, that's so yeah. Orchid War brings up another point. So the armorer also on this movie is an interesting story. So from what I've come to understand, is the person who was the armorer on this movie, and armorers are people on movie sets who handle any kind of weaponry, whether it's guns, knives, swords, whatever. The armorer was very inexperienced, and apparently the only reason she got the job was because she is related to someone who is actually an experienced armorer in Hollywood. So nepotism.
Yay.
Wait,
Nepotism.
was she part of the is she part of the union or like
yeah, I think she is a union member.
Okay.
But the only reason, from what I can understand, that because this is not the first time that she's screwed up on set with guns, from what I've been able to find.
Like a history of her fuck-ups.
I don't remember because I don't have them up here now, but I've read that at least once or twice before there has been issues with movie sets that she's been on where she's been the armorer with guns.
Yikes.
Of course, that's big yikes.
And also something else that was going on.
That's
Apparently,
your one fucking job.
I know, right? Apparently, also with this particular gun that was being used, it was also being used by the crew during the downtime for like random target practice. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know how someone allowed this person to just be there. Just why? What?
There's just this story is so wild, and it shows like a vast disconnect between like what goes on in Hollywood and what is like right to do.
I mean, I'm not very surprised. Like, again, a prop gun is just a real gun. There's no way to disable the gun. Like, oh, take out the firing pin so it doesn't shoot. It's like, well, if it doesn't shoot, then how can you make blanks? Like, there's no real way to make a gun look realistic other than using a real gun.
So you give it to like you hire professionals to handle that shit and not just like fucking mishandle this entire situation.
I think after this, she won't get a job ever again. She should be fucking brought up on charges of gross negligence after this. What are you talking about?
Dude, she shouldn't be close to any movie set ever. Like
Yeah,
Ever
but
ever.
like,
again.
do we even know who put the real bullet in there? Like, no one knows, right? Other than, well, the crew uses it to shoot for practice.
Apparently,
Like,
it had to have been a non-unionized worker.
What do you
I don't
mean?
know.
I'm assuming it had to have been one of the non-unionized workers that they brought in after everybody walked off.
That was using the gun to shoot for target practice. I feel like that's
No,
just a
that
normal,
handed Alec Baldwin the gun.
Oh yeah, there should have been checks. Like, obviously, see, that's the one thing about, I own guns. I have guns. I hunt, and I have sport guns, like sport rifles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love guns. One thing you're taught when you go get your hunting license is that you should treat every gun like it's loaded.
There's.
That's
I
very
think
true.
all three of us here have used guns before. I think all of us understand that there is no such thing. You never think of any gun you pick up as unloaded. Treat all guns as if they're always loaded.
Yep. There's so many stupid stories in the IDF of just kids doing stupid shit with guns and getting hurt. It's like it's the same shit here. Like people just not like mishandling this shit, and it's infuriating that it keeps happening.
Yeah.
And like, okay, like in the IDF, it's like these stupid kids that for some reason that do it, but here it's like, God, it's fuck,
These
it's
are
like their jobs
professionals.
to handle.
These
Yeah,
are supposed to be professionals.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the process is for checking to make sure a gun is not fucking loaded. Other than, if someone hands me a gun, like, what's that stupid movie with Ice-T? The Most Dangerous Game. You guys know what I'm talking about? The Most
Yeah,
Dangerous
I've
Game?
seen that movie before. Yeah.
Okay, so the Most Dangerous Game is about Ice-T being hunted for sport because he's a homeless man, and these rich people
course.
give him an offer like, "Hey, sign this thing, and we'll give you money." And he does it because he's homeless and whatnot. And one thing he learns in that movie from another homeless guy, because he gets a gun, is that you should always check the barrel of a gun, just in case like it's obstructed or something. You don't just take a gun and start shooting it. So if you are
Makes sense.
a trained professional, or at least trained a little bit, you don't even have to be a fucking professional. You should always check your guns. Like, before I shoot a gun, you know what I'll do? I'll check my ammunition. Is it loaded right? How many rounds do I have? Like, is it primed? Like, there's other things I do before I shoot my fucking gun. Is the barrel clear? Like, to me, it's obvious to do because I work around.
But isn't it bizarre that like people who are paid to like take care of that shit didn't do that well on that set?
Well, I would understand if it was something like, do you always do your checks? No, like that's a given. To my knowledge, my guns, if I were to load them and use them, I would just load them and use them because, to my knowledge, I'm the only one who's touched it, right? And that kind of that's where negligence would come into play. Like, obviously, this gun someone fucked up somewhere down the line and was using it for, obviously they were using it for target practice or something, right? Unless it was a malicious intent. I don't know. Maybe it was.
I find it difficult to believe there was actual malicious intent here. I just think it's a tragic accident which was very easily avoidable.
Well, I don't know if it was gonna be avoidable just because of, like, given how fucking, wow, that was a fucking snap right there. That was crazy.
I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that was just a reflex, like, snap.
You're aimbotting, dude.
My bad, dude.
He's hagging, bro. He's hagging.
Yeah, my turn off my walls, but it's because of how shoots go, right? Like, obviously there's negligence and stuff involved because they're just trying to shoot the movie, and obviously Alec Baldwin and his camp did not give a damn about safety because they were trying to hire. I'm not sure if they would be considered scabs because they're non-unionized, because they were just trying to finish the shoot. So they were very sloppy in their preparation, and I don't know if this could have been avoided. Even if, just because of given how already sloppy they were, like, if it wasn't this, it was going to be someone else dying of heat stroke or some other form of negligence.
It could have been. It could have been avoided by stopping the fucking shoot.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because of the negligence involved in not just handling of, like, the gun, but with overall how the shoot was proceeding, I just feel like something was bound to happen regardless.
Yeah, this sounds like a cursed movie set, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like in Poltergeist. Was it Poltergeist, where they use real bodies. There's like,
What?
yeah, so in the shooting of Poltergeist, there's a bunch of fucked up shit that happened. Like, I think the director and stuff died or something a week after the movie released, and I don't know. I don't remember what it was. There's some weird fucking things that happened on the Poltergeist set, like people dying and stuff like that.
But that's like, that's insane. Because I remember like stories of like really old productions, like from the 50s. Like you had what was the? I think it was Ben-Hur, when they had like these like big set pieces. Like they built this big boat in this like, and like some of the
Oh
stuntmen
yeah.
died because they couldn't swim. And then they had this like other like set piece they made for like the horse carriages. Some people died because of a crash of the horse carriages. It's like wild shit. But that happened back in the 50s, where apparently no one was like really
Bro, let me blow
like,
your mind. So, you know who Charlie Chaplin is?
yeah,
The
obviously.
a famous
Silent movie star.
comedian? Silent movie star.
Yeah,
So you know that scene where that barn comes down on Charlie Chaplin and he like lives because it goes through the window?
okay.
That was real.
actually
That was a
holy
real.
shit.
Yeah, so Chaplin did a bunch of crazy good
But-
shoots. Like, I've seen how they do the thing where it looks like he's hanging off the edge of the thing. That's just like forced
That's a
perspective.
painting. Yeah, that's like a
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
insane.
But that scene where that fucking barn falls down, that was real. That was a real fucking thing.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
there's the I forget which movie it's in, but there's one where he's sitting on the wheels of a train. That's also real.
Oh yeah, the
There's
train that was going like 5 miles
like
per hour, but that was he was on the front of the
both
train. It was
in-
pushing
yeah,
him. Yeah.
both Chaplin and Buster Keaton, they would pull off these like wild shit that it's like it's insane to think of that it was real.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, so like we know that the movie industry is full of shit like that, where they'll do anything to get the shot right.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the same sense, they're gonna do anything to get the shot done. So to me, again, this type of negligence, this is just rampant in the industry. Like you hear stories about how people get fucked up all the time during shoots. Like what's even freaking oh my god, what's that? The girl in Kill Bill,
Uma Thurman.
Uma
Uma
Thurman. Yeah.
Thurman. Yeah, like how she hurt her foot during one of the shoots because of the car crash scene or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? The driving scene. But they the director did not give a shit and said keep filming, keep going, keep going. You know?
Yeah, Quentin
like that.
Tarantino is known as a director who actually likes to put his actors through like practical stunts and then just have them keep going through pain.
Yeah. So again, when you have an industry that's full of fucking directors like Tarantino, don't get me wrong, I like Tarantino films. I really shouldn't, especially given how he acts and like stuff when as a director. But
Mhm.
this is just this is something that is more there's more to it. Like it's not just this was a bad shot, like this was a bad scene,
Yeah.
this was bad just in this one instance for this movie. Like no, this is rampant in the industry. This type of negligence is just rampant in the industry and it needs to change.
It's just wild to me, like the negligence that happened in this. Like the more you hear about this set, it's like, what the fuck was happening over there? It's insane.
Yeah, for sure. I've got this from Expendables 2. Never point a gun at anything you don't intend to. Yeah, never. If you have a gun, never point at anything you don't intend to shoot. That's why if you're just carrying a gun, point it down.
Yep.
So I've never
Pretty
held a
much.
gun before. Does it get heavy once the gun is loaded? Something that both movies, games, everything never really like gets quite right is just how heavy most guns are. Like even unloaded, a lot of guns are a lot heavier than you think they are.
Okay, so the whole unless you are able to tell the difference between like quite literally grams, you're not going to tell the difference between a blank
Yeah,
and a real bullet.
I don't know about that exactly.
Well, no,
A real lead
no,
bullet
he's
versus
asking
a
between a
blank?
loaded and an unloaded gun. Like even unloaded, most guns are pretty weighty.
It depends. So if it has a magazine inside of it, it's going to be pretty heavy. The difference between a full stack and a no stack, yeah, you could tell the difference, but to someone who doesn't shoot guns on the regular, would they be able to tell?
really.
Probably not. No.
Hmm.
Like I could tell the difference between a loaded, like a full stack and a no stack, but just because I can tell the difference between a fully stacked, a fully loaded magazine versus not fully loaded, what if there's 2 or 3 bullets in there? You can't tell the difference. I would not be able to tell if there was 1 bullet in there, which is why again I would know your weapon. right? Know your tools.
Yeah.
That's something that on like a bunch of my guns, you can actually just check the barrel. Like there's a little peek window to know if the gun is loaded. Like, is it primed? It's easy to do, but this is obviously, I don't think Alec Baldwin as a person was very familiar with guns, and why would he be? He's a movie actor. Like it's not his job to make sure the gun was loaded. As much as I want to be like he should have checked, it's not his job.
No.
Yeah,
you've got prop masters, you've got PAs, you've got other people whose job is to make sure everything runs smoothly. Alec Baldwin's job is to fucking act. Unfortunately.
Yep. There was an old tweet of Alec Baldwin's that someone dug up that was very unfortunate. I think he was talking in this tweet about someone who had been charged with murder who got off because they made the defense that the gun had accidentally gone off in their hand, and he made a tweet saying, how does anyone accidentally shoot and kill somebody? I guess now you know, Alec.
Oh no. That's so bad.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunate. But yeah, this story is wild, and like I said, it's still evolving, so a bunch of new things come out. I know a lot of people are saying Alec Baldwin should be charged, and yeah, I guess if you're saying that maybe since he was a producer and he could have spoken up for the crew, maybe, but I don't think he's ever going to be charged. I think if anyone should be charged, it's probably the armor on this movie.
Again, it depends on how far, like, obviously the person who should be charged would be the person who loaded this.
Yeah, who loaded the gun.
Around in here. Like, they're the one at most negligent here. Like, you can't just fucking, even if you go use this gun for shooting practice or something, right? You can't just fucking go, oh, well, all right, well, that's done. I'm going to just put this gun back and not unload it. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. We're talking about the negligence, and I honestly don't know where I would start. Other than, yes, I would say whoever loaded it, they're probably the most at fault. They should have unloaded it. They definitely need to be off a fucking movie set with live guns and stuff
forever.
Like that. Forever. Like, get out of here. The armor, I don't know. She's inexperienced. She's had problems before. Like, yes.
At the very least, she should lose her license to be an armorer.
I don't know how that entire thing works, but like it's not a good look for sure.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. There was this canceled movie that the actors that had been asked to be in the movie died a short time after. John Candy and Chris Farley were asked. The movie was finally canceled after. I never heard about that. But that sounds wild too.
What movie was that?
I have no idea. Anyway, let's wrap this up with the last couple of things you want to talk about, Natai.
No, we can save it for last time. We're pretty close to wrapping up, and I do want to bitch about Nintendo, but I think that's a good... We can do that next time, I think, because there's a lot to bitch about.
Okay, well, if you want to save it for next month's WTF, we can certainly do that. But yeah, to wrap this up, like the whole Alec Baldwin story is wild, and yeah, it does kind of harken back to the whole Brandon Lee thing, doesn't it, John?
Very much.
Although I think with that was just more of a tragic accident, and this just seems like a lot of negligence on multiple people's parts. But
I mean, there's truly no accident. Like, something happened because someone fucked up somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
In my opinion, but it's an unfortunate event, is what it is.
It is. Okay, well, I guess we'll go ahead and stop this here, then. We'll cut it off there. Thank you all for coming out to listen to us rant and rave on a Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone. By the time this goes out, Halloween will be over. I do want to say one last thing.
Fuck you, John.
Ran away like a bitch.
Nice. I'm in the middle of watching the World Series. As you guys know, I fucking love baseball. Tonight is game 6.
Fucking go.
Tonight is game 6 of the World Series. The Braves are one fucking win away from having a World Series title. I am so fucking hype. I want the Braves.
Are you feeling brave tonight, Alex?
Huh?
Are you feeling brave tonight?
I am feeling brave tonight. I'd love to see the Braves win the World Series on Halloween night. Are you kidding me? So I'm pulling for the Braves heavily. Obviously, by tomorrow when this comes out on YouTube, maybe we'll know if they're World Series champions or not. Anyway, I'm going to cut it off there. As I said, thanks you all for dropping in to listen to us. Check the description below to find links to Anime Club After Dark on Twitch, on social media, Discord, all that good stuff. Check out our merch store. We also have affiliate links as well. Any purchases you make there do really, really, really help us out. Thank you all for your questions, everyone that sent in questions. If you want to send in questions to us, do join our Discord server. We have a channel dedicated just to asking us questions every month on our WTFs. And with that, I have been your host, Alex, and I will see you next time. Say goodnight, guys.
Bye.
Wow, what a great kill to end this with.